one Ford car. He will be here, and then Courtney Hansen. Wheels.net, worldofwheels.net. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels 55th Annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels. That was a sad moment right there for the back room because we've only got 8 minutes left of the show, so they know it's the last time I'll ever do that read.
Yeah.
And that name has owned me. I have not consistently gotten Rashiki right this entire time.
Well, if you want a one-on-one interview, I can get it set up this week.
I've got to be gone.
I've got to be gone.
Like today or in the future?
No, this afternoon. I'm unavailable to come talk to Rashiki.
You know, it was 2 years ago I did the sit down with Mick Foley.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy, wasn't he?
He was, man. He had some great stories.
Last year?
No, it was 2 years ago.
No, last year was, I'm trying to remember who the wrestler was last year. I can't remember now.
God, it seems like last year.
And Eric Estrada was 3 years ago.
An interview that will live in infamy.
Was last
on
year
this
Mick
show.
Foley?
What's that?
Was last year Mick Foley?
No,
No,
2
it's
years ago.
I can't remember who last year was.
Oh, I swear I thought it was last year.
No, it was 2 years ago. And I'll tell you why off the air I remember this.
Just it's insanity. It goes by so fast. Okay, you wanted to mention favorite memories of the BJCC.
Well, I mean, look, it is an iconic venue if you grew up in Birmingham. And you and I both saw our first concert the same night, 1977.
With the great Gene Simmons.
Yeah, the Destroyer Tour with Kiss. So that was one memory for me. I remember watching Allen Iverson lose to, I was a huge North Carolina fan back in the 80s and 90s, and North Carolina winning the regional final in Birmingham in 1994 with Dean Smith and going to the Final Four and eventually losing to Arkansas. But watching them navigate out of those two games and eventually beating Allen Iverson and Georgetown.
I saw them the Bill Guthridge era. You remember when they came here and they upset Stanford? They were in the 8-9 game.
It was Brendan Haywood. Nobody can handle him.
It was the 8-9 game. They beat Missouri. Quinn Snyder was the coach at Missouri. They beat Missouri in the 8-9 game, and I remember being next door at the arena, and there was like one little section of North Carolina fans against Missouri. They beat them and advanced to the round of 32 to play one seed Stanford. And it was a Thursday, Saturday. Yep. Thursday night, there's that little one sliver. Saturday, I show up to the Civic Center, and it looks like the Dean Dome.
Right.
The Carolina fans had come in on Friday and had taken the city over, and they upset Stanford and ended up going to the Final Four.
Yep. Lost to Florida, who eventually lost to Michigan State in Tom Izzo's only national championship.
For a brief moment in basketball history, Gene Bartow's UAB team called the BJCC home when they started the program, but they would play Auburn occasionally on the Friday night before the Iron Bowl when it was at Legion Field. And one of my favorite basketball games ever to attend, I was end zone seats, using football terminology, upper deck, same seats basically I sat at to watch the great band Loverboy in the Coliseum. But Charles Barkley's Auburn team against a really good UAB team sold out 17,000 plus. Mark Aguirre, DePaul, I was at that game here with those great UAB teams. DePaul and UAB played each other here in Birmingham, sold out, overflow crowd for both of those games. This place rocked when it was overflowed. The great hockey games that I came to, anytime they had more than 7,000, 8,000 for a hockey game, this place rocked.
I did the 6A state championship game. I'm not going to remember the year, but it sold out the arena.
On demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the next round.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now. We'll get to Super Bowl week coming up in a moment. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about there. Ty Simpson on the record about Kalen DeBoer's future at Alabama and about his decision to be in the NFL. We'll talk college football. Gus Malzahn is retiring officially. We'll talk about the legacy of Gus. But we'll start with college basketball. Both Auburn and Alabama lose over the weekend. I'm going to say two things about Alabama first. One, the Charles Bediako cross to bear looks heavy for this Alabama basketball team. The attention that Bediako draws, the conversation around Bediako, it seems to be wearing on this team. Maybe that's just an overreaction to part two of what I'm going to say. That is I know it's only a 23-point loss, and technically there are worse defeats in the history of basketball. That's one of the worst beatings I have ever seen a team take before. It was a beat down.
Yeah, it really was, and it was one of those that, Florida didn't have any perimeter presence. They didn't need it. I mean, just their shots around the basket and how they absolutely dominated the paint. I mean, for Florida to hit 3 threes, I think Alabama made 11 more threes and still we're down 27 at one point.
The points in the
to
paint.
hit 100 points with only 3 threes is crazy.
I've never seen this before. The points in the paint. Maybe I just didn't look at it, but this is something like Wilt Chamberlain for those used to be a big guy playing with small guys. Back in the old days, it was like something he would have had. 72 points in the paint, 72-26. Florida beat Alabama points in the paint. That's a beatdown, and it all centers around Charles Bediako being back, Todd Golden saying we're going to beat him if he plays anyway.
He knew it.
Yeah, he was right. Yeah.
And they decided to beat them around Charles Bediako in the middle of the floor. We're going to go right at him, and we're going to beat him and Aiden Sherrill and any of your bigs down in the paint. That's where we're going to beat you. You're going to bring a pro back, and we're going to go beat the pro.
Well, look, I mean,
Joes versus pros.
We talked about maybe the best front line in all of college basketball. When you look at Houck and you look at Condon, and Chenalou is just a rebound. He just eats glass.
But they can be beat. Auburn beat them on the same floor down there.
No, I get it. But, this is exactly, I think, the way that Todd Golden would like for them to play. I mean, you look at Boogie Flan. He's not going to have 8 steals. I mean, that was a Florida record going back to 1989.
That's another stat we'll get to.
Yeah, but just, him getting so involved as far as defensive hustle. You saw him on the deck a lot. 8 assists. I mean, this is, you got to hit a couple of threes here and there. Obviously didn't need it yesterday. But this Florida team, we talk about, they're hitting their stride at the right point. And as long as they stay away from injuries, they're going to get better and better and better.
We were not in Todd Golden's locker room speech before the game or leading up to the game, obviously, but
it had to be Braveheart-esque.
Would it surprised you if the players were like, yeah, Coach Golden told us, hey, this team had to go get a pro to beat us. If y'all are going to let a pro come in here and beat you, you're not made of Florida material or something like that. Yeah, it's probably a little better than what I just said right there for Todd Golden. But, I mean, would that surprise you if that were the message to the team? Like, no. I mean, you're not going to let a pro come in here and beat you, are you?
Well, Ruben Chenalou was on him most of the day. And I thought the only reason I kept watching when the game was over, the only reason I watched the second half, when Alabama didn't score for 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the second half, down 10 at the half, and then 5 minutes and 30 seconds of the second half before they get their first points. The only reason I kept watching was I thought Bediako and Chenalou were going to throw punches, because it was that chippy between the two. He was leaning his head in on Bediako and wrapping his arm around him, leaning on him, and just pestering Bediako. Chenalou ended up with 14 points and 17 rebounds.
Oh, he's 13th double-double of the season. And I continue to watch because I had Florida minus the 9.
That was safe.
And, well, you just never know with, 3 straight threes or something when you can come back into this. But completely dominant performance. And I'm sure Chenalou was in his ear. How's that pro basketball been the last couple of years?
It was this tough for the G League right here.
Let's listen to some of the atmosphere, Brownie. Let's go to cut 6, Tyler. This is from Jordan Banks, who works with Inside the Gators. You could hear, some of the student section yelling at Nate and Bediako, but this is the chant that was going on pregame and throughout the game, directed at Charles Bediako. They're chanting as you listen in, G League dropout.
Okay.
G League dropout. And that's what Alabama dealt with from the student section there. Every time Bediako was on the floor and when he came out there. Now, you get that on the road. But then the coaches were going back and forth a little bit. Let's go back to cut one from last week, Nate OAts. Remember what he was saying about the rebounding of Florida and how good they were on the inside? I'll refresh your memory. Nate OAts last week before they flew to Gainesville.
Paint scoring and rebounding are two of the biggest issues with this team. They can score in the paint at a high level, and they go get a bunch of offensive rebounds. And when you can sit in the lane for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds at a time, helps your offensive rebounding quite a bit.
Wow.
So when you sit in the lane for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, it helps your offensive rebounding. So after being out-rebounded in this game by a lot, and then 72 points to 26 points in the paint, Todd Golden afterwards had this to say about Nate OAts' 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 comments.
Does it feel good when you put yourself out there on we're going to beat them anyways, and then you go out and you beat them down anyways?
Well, it's I was thinking about that a lot last night actually, and as this was a big one-off ABC game, they were going to try to find different ways to stir it up, and I thought when one of the Alabama beat writers or reporters talked to Nate about it on Friday, I thought his response, we're very similar. He's like, yeah, I understand where he's coming from. Like, he's going to try to kick our ass. We're going to try to kick his ass. I don't think that's news to anybody. But with that being said, yeah, absolutely, right? To come out and impose our will the way we did, we beat them on the glass. We scored 72 points in the paint. And I thought our guys were in there for 1 second, 2 seconds, and then we would score it. So we did a good job taking advantage of our catches down there, and our bigs were really,
you hear
really
the
good
laughter.
Today.
Yeah.
Took him a minute to get it.
Yeah. It was kind of snuck in there.
Look, you can be petty when you win a national championship, and Todd Golden's done that, and it's not necessarily petty. It's just to crag back on what OAts had said, but that was old school basketball. Like, you don't see teams score 72 points in the paint. Coming into this game, they were the leading rebounding team in all of college basketball, so it wasn't a surprise they were able to somewhat dominate this Alabama team on the glass. But the one missing part was another big, and it looks like they're still a long way away.
Let's talk more about that. Just before you tell us about the lock, lanceslock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. You mentioned Boogie Flan's 8 steals. The team had 13. Florida beat Alabama in fast break points, 26-3. These are mind-boggling numbers. 2 turnovers for Florida, 18 for Alabama.
Yeah, that was it. When Ravage said it before half, this team has not turned the ball over. Didn't notice up until that point, and I was like, well, they'll probably end up turning it over 8 to 10 times. Nope, 2 more times.
And can't remember the 2. And then 72-26 in the paint. We'll talk more about the Bediako target on Alabama's back. Is it worth it, and all that going on after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. One of them brings you Lance's Lock every day. It sounds like you gave out a winner on Florida yesterday.
Yeah, we were 13-3 over the weekend, so had a great weekend in college hoops. Jump on board, win with us. We're starting to roll now. It was a little bit of a struggle early on. Now that we're clear and free of football, 1,000% of the concentration is on college basketball and the NBA. Again, coming off 13-3, including 5-0 yesterday for you. It is always brought to you, lanceslock.com, by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And we've entered the month of February, the month of love. It is Valentine's month in February, and Bojangles is helping you celebrate that and helping a good cause with a heart-shaped Bowberry biscuits. Great way to start any day, and even better in the month of February, because not only are they heart-shaped, which is kind of fun for the kids or the wife or heck, anybody eating a Bowberry biscuit for that matter, but it's also going to a great cause.
The Greg Olson Foundation, the Bojangles Foundation, the hardest yard. 10% of all sales from the Bowberry biscuits that are heart-shaped will go to support these foundations. So that helps support heart care services and research in these communities and all the communities the Bojangles serves. That is now through the 22nd at your local Bojangles. Great way to start the day and help some of those that might be in need of some great heart care. You can do that at your local Bojangles, where you can always make it bow time.
Okay, so you hear the student sections. It's tough on you on the road regardless. They're going to find something to chant at you. But all the discussion around this team with Charles Bediako, they are 1-2 with him on the floor. They've lost to Tennessee at home and Florida on the road. You could say they probably, if they can't win with Bediako on the floor, they probably would have lost those games regardless. There have been really good Alabama teams under Nate Oates that lose to Tennessee and lose to Florida.
Yeah, and as a reminder, Holloway and Allen were out for the Tennessee game, so even without Bediako, it's probably worse against Tennessee. Yeah.
But both back yesterday.
Oh, they were both back yesterday. There's nothing yesterday, you could say.
But they're 1-2 with Bediako, and the most common phrase that I heard as that game was going on afterwards into the pre-show today is, man, you bring Charles Bediako back, would this game look any different if Bediako was still in the G League? If you weren't taking all this national press about having a pro, air quote, pro G League guy back in your roster, is it worth it right now what they're trying to do?
Well, not if you're 1-2. It might be worth it come March. I mean, we're not really going to know until this thing completely plays out. I mean, right now it doesn't look like it because, Tennessee, say what you want, a little inconsistent, physical team. Florida, they wanted to really see how they would match up with these bigs. And if Bediako wasn't playing, maybe Florida wins the game by 30 instead of 23. But, I mean, it's not the difference in, this coming down to a final possession.
J.M. Green in the chat, Alabama fan, and the chat's moving a little too quickly, so here it is. This has been a disaster, Nate. Just release Charles and let's move on. Pretty sure every Alabama fan would rather be mediocre without all the extra negative attention.
I don't think you can do it now.
No, you've gone too far now. I mean, releasing him probably looks even worse than bringing him on.
Well, I mean, the perception is that it's not true, this perception, but the perception is that somehow you got a favorable ruling from a local judge. It seems like the local judge could get you, off the hook here at this point if you really wanted to get rid of him. I don't think that's the case.
You're better with Bediako. You are.
But that's another misrepresentation, I think, nationally, that Alabama is the one that fought to get Bediako back. It's Bediako's side that is doing the lawsuit. And
Alabama supported him.
They did.
He didn't do this blindly. He enrolled at Alabama, and I'm certain of this, that he goes to Alabama and is like, if I can get this done, is there a place for me? Well, why would you enroll at Alabama and go to all this trouble if you weren't told, oh, yeah, there's a place for you?
Look, Nate Oates, Greg Byrne, they knew this was going to be a massive PR hit, win or lose. If Alabama goes out and let's say they beat Florida 100-77, let's say they're 3-0 on this stretch, and Bediako is averaging 20-12. People are like, this isn't even fair. This guy's been playing professional basketball. It's
probably even worse.
So, they knew coming in it was going to be terrible PR, and was the risk worth the reward? And up through 3 games, it ain't.
And the other misconception, by the way, while we're on misconceptions, is that Alabama found a judge that would rule in their favor. That's not really how that works. You don't you don't walk into some judge's courtroom and say, oh, by the way, I want this injunction, I want this TRO. There's a process, and it gets painted. I'm not saying a favorable judge wasn't selected by someone. I'm not suggesting that. I am saying you don't just walk in a judge's courtroom that is going to be favorable so you can get your ruling. With all of that said, Alabama's become the villain in college basketball. It was Dan Hurley in UConn. And I think Hurley is still a pretty big villain. But as a team, Alabama has become
what it kind of reminds me of is Brandon Miller. Just from the standpoint that at any point, if Nate didn't want the bad pub, he could have just pulled the trigger. Now, in retrospect, Brandon Miller was cleared of everything, and it wasn't the deal a lot of people thought it was.
But Alabama became the villain.
They were, and everybody was pulling against Alabama.
And
Look, Alabama,
that was a really good Alabama team. This is not a really good Alabama team.
Right, and that Alabama team without Brandon Miller wasn't going to do anything. With Brandon Miller, they could have won a national championship. They got bounced early.
They were the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
But I do think I do think the wear and tear of carrying
Probably.
all of that baggage wore on that team a little bit.
Yeah, we've talked about how impressive the whole Cam Newton situation was with Gene Chizik, just because they dealt with it week in, week out, and they still were able to win these games.
We were around that team because they were seeded as the number 1 seed right here in Birmingham. And it was
number 1 overall seed.
Got to play right here in Birmingham. So there was just an air. You could just feel it. Around. I don't know how to describe it, but you guys were around it. You could just feel it around that team. There
was a burden.
Yeah, there was a burden. And I don't know if this would ever get to that point, but I do think it has started maybe to weigh on this team a little bit.
I mean, are you going to be shocked, though, if you look up and they've lost 5 of 6?
No, because they've got Texas A&M. And by the way, we're talking about how this is the first road trip, and they got poor treatment on the road. Do they go on the road again this week?
They've got to go to Auburn.
They go to Auburn,
You think that's going to be pleasant?
Then they go to Oxford to take on Ole Miss, who, on a given day.
Now, when you say treatment on the road, I would tell you that I wonder how the officials officiate Bediako. I mean, there were a couple of tic-tac of the shoving and pushing going on down there. It didn't look like Bediako got any calls.
So you're thinking that there might be some blowback on that level as well?
I don't know. I don't know.
Officiating a pro, not a college player?
I don't know. You get I think you get typical favorable calls when you're at home anyway.
Yeah.
It just looked like, as you watch that game, Chinaloo was being very physical with Bediako too. And then Bediako got into foul trouble. I mean, I think it was the 4th or the 5th foul. Chinaloo's trying to go up with a shot, and Bediako, gives him the forearm shiver as he's falling away from the basket. But compared to what was going on, I thought that was pretty ticky-tacky.
Would you trade Bediako and Sherrell 2 for 1 on any of those 3 up front? Houck, Condon, or Chinaloo?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that.
But yes.
I'm just saying that is a lot of times coming off a 3 for 13 behind the arc. And Florida hasn't been a team that hits a lot of threes. Walter Clayton Jr. was great last year. But that looks like an old-school offense that can win a national championship.
Yeah, Chinaloo with 14 points, 17 rebounds. Condon had 22. Houck had 25. Boogie Flan, who I think the weak point of the team is, had 8 steals, scored the basketball.
Boogie Flan is good.
With or without Bediako. Let's take Bediako's discussion off the table.
Oh, they've got a Florida problem anyway.
Well, they got a Florida and a Tennessee problem, but definitely a Florida problem.
When is the last? They've lost 5 straight. When was that last win?
I think it was a blowout in Coleman. I'd have to go back and look.
That's right.
But it's been a while.
Todd Golden's first year, I think.
Todd Golden's first year. Alabama beat them pretty bad. I mean, it was a lot like yesterday was, except other team doing it.
Yeah.
No, my point was going to be beyond Florida and Tennessee. It has seemed to have been with or without Bediako, and a lot of this has been with Bediako. A Nate OAts Achilles heel when they run into a team that's big and physical on the inside. Purdue.
Yeah.
Guess you would say Arizona this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and list them all, but you've seen that.
Yeah, they beat St. John in Illinois, which are good wins.
Yeah,
but St. John's not as good guard play as outside shooting play as they are, but Illinois is a good team.
Illinois is a different team right now, too. They're getting better and better.
It feels like when you play a BYU like they did in the tournament last year, a team that wants to run and score with you, Alabama's like, we'll play that game all day long.
But it's the next game. Who was it?
Duke. When a team can be physical with you, that has been the Achilles heel of a Nate OAts team.
That's right.
Now,
go back to the Final Four run.
Yep.
Was fine.
And then they played UConn.
And then they played UConn.
Yeah, that's right. Now, UConn was exceptionally good that year.
Yeah, but they were really good inside.
Yeah, but it's the physical teams that seem to be Nate OAts' Achilles heel. If you can play teams that just want to run it with you, Nate's pretty good in that situation. Nate's teams are pretty good in that situation.
More on what Nate thinks about the NBA player who actually played NBA games, Amari Bailey, trying to come back and play college basketball off of the Bediako ruling later in the show. But to the Auburn side of what went on this weekend, brought to you today by our friends at Culver's. Brandy, tell us about Culver's.
Yeah, you can go celebrate a big win at Culver's or just forget about a terrible loss at Culver's. Either way, Culver's, welcome to Delicious. Go enjoy that juicy butter burger, those crispy crinkle-cut fries, the golden gooey cheese curds, or right there at the end, I shouldn't say or, I should say and, because you're not going to go to Culver's and not get a creamy concrete right there at Culver's. They are fantastic. So whether it is win or lose, celebrate at Culver's. When in Birmingham, Stadium, Trace, or Tattersall Park. That's your 2 great locations for Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Okay, so Auburn goes on the road to Tennessee, and they lose 77-69. Don't think they led at any point throughout the game. They get out rebounded 46-30 by the Volunteers, who are starting to play better basketball now. Here's Stephen Pearl in Knoxville after the loss.
Yeah, credit to Tennessee. They, beat us at our game. They pushed us around. They punked us. Got to the foul line 11 more times than we did. They did a really good job attacking the paint. They hit 4 early threes, and they didn't continue to settle for threes like we did. They just continued to attack the rim. And they out physicaled us, and kind of had their way. So a lot of the things that disrupted us were credit to them. They do a great job of loading to the ball and making you settle for threes, and our guys got to do a better job of making open shots, and we weren't able to do that tonight. So our 4 best 3-point shooters, combined for 7 for 31. So not going to win when you do that on the road, but Tennessee had a lot to do with that. So they did a great job, and we got to be better.
So Tennessee's first game with their full roster, the way Rick Barnes had it dreamed up, was the Alabama game in Tuscaloosa, where they came in and won that game. And now they've beaten Auburn as well. Pretty good basketball team that's starting to find its way as well with Nate OAts.
Yeah, they completely dominated the glass. As you said, Auburn never led. They were down 16. And Auburn really just can't hit perimeter shots. I mean, I hate to continue to pick on Pettiford, but he is such a big part of this offense that has got to get going. I mean, Keyshawn Hall you can count on night in, night out. But Pettiford, 4 of 14, 2 of 11 on threes. He is now 10 of 55 in league play behind the arc. Yeah, that is 18%.
Yeah, this version of Auburn basketball, there's not a game where you want to shoot 31 threes. I don't think this team's capable of being hot enough from beyond the arc to shoot 31
well,
threes.
Shooting 31 threes and then sending Tennessee to the line 31 times. That's a recipe for disaster.
Breaks a 4-game win streak for Auburn. They're off midweek here. Then they get Alabama down at Neville for the first meeting of Stephen Pearl and Nate OAts, and with Bediako going on the road down to Auburn. But both of the teams now, Alabama 4-4 in league play, Auburn 5-4 in league play. Now that was a 4-game win streak for Auburn that ended, so they were trending up on the scale, and now they've lost this one game. I mean, one bump in the road, not that big deal if you can bounce back with another win.
Yeah, but you're at the halfway point, and you're 5-4 if you're Auburn, which, if you match that in the second half, you're 10-8. That's an NCAA tournament team, and it's not a great seed in the NCAA tournament. And Alabama, this game will have them at the halfway point. Are they going to be 4-5? They're going to have a losing record in the first half of that. Well, actually, no, they play Texas A&M first. So that'll determine that. So I just think if you're Auburn, the first half of the conference play, what grade would you give them?
It's a completely reassembled roster, which we see that a lot.
Yeah,
it's a first-year coach.
Oh, yeah.
I'd give them a C+, B-.
Okay. I was going to say the same thing, probably a C+.
I think that they're just, a little confidence away. Like, we've seen Kevin Overton play at a high level. If Pettiford can start playing, Jovic can be really, really good off the bench. Like, he only played 17 minutes, but it was quality minutes. I mean, had 8 and 7 in those 17 minutes. He's going to become a bigger factor. If Pettiford can find his shot and you can get the Kevin Overton you got, what was the in-week game that we just saw where he was fantastic?
Oh, at Ole Miss?
Yeah. Maybe it was Ole Miss.
Yeah, but Pettiford's last, and to Lance's point here, his last 5 games, not to pick on him, but he is Auburn's star, and he's probably Auburn's highest paid player. He's the guy that Auburn really, really fought to keep out of the draft or transferring or whatever. His last 5 games, 9-17, 11-7, 11. You got to have more than that. I mean, that's just pure and simple.
And look at how he's getting them. I mean, look at the amount of shots he's having to take to get those few points.
Now, he at least had 7 assists against Tennessee. So, I mean, if you're not going to score a lot, at least help somebody else score. And he at least had 7 assists to 2 turnovers. But still, you got to get more points out of Pettiford.
77-69 was the score. Can you give me cut number 9? Because Rick Barnes was talking afterwards. Now, late in this game, I don't know if you had a Lance's Lock play on this game on Saturday or not.
I did. I had Tennessee.
Tennessee, what was the points? Do you remember?
Tennessee was 7.5.
7.5.
No, excuse me. It was 5.5.
5.5. So an easy winner for you there.
It wasn't easy, but
college basketball's never easy.
Okay, it wasn't. Have you seen this soundbite yet?
No.
Okay. I want you to hear this, Lance, because Lance does this thing, lanceslock.com, pays attention to what goes on in the gambling world. Now, Rick Barnes, I will say this up front. He was joking when he said this. It was a joke by an older coach who was 100. You can tell 100% here he was not being serious. But with the FBI raid earlier this year on a number of college basketball athletes accused of a point shaving scheme, and just all of us in general who watch games and at times think to ourselves, even all the way back to the 1990s with UNLV and Duke, occasionally like, is that player on the take? Rick Barnes, 100% joking here, said this afterwards on some of the late turnovers by his guys in the waning seconds that kept Auburn close.
I mean, at the end of the game, some of the passes that we throw, and I mean, just, I don't know what to say other than sometimes I wonder if my guys are betting on games. I shouldn't say that, but, you know,
wow.
That's what erase that. I don't want to say that. But I just wonder what's happening. I mean, because I know we're too good of players to do that. Was that a bad I apologize.
By the way, Tennessee did erase that.
Yeah, they did not send that part
out.
out.
I don't blame him.
I'm like, I can't believe he would say that out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, watching in the second half, I mean, when it came down to it, because that was on the line of a possession basically the entire time to cover. And by the way, how these things come down to the wire, the 7'9", the tallest player in college basketball that came in.
Yeah, Ryu.
Yeah, his shot there in the final seconds put that game over by a half point.
On the total. Over
yeah, on the
under.
total.
Oof. Yeah. And that was a miss and a rebound putback.
Right.
Yeah, right. So you hit 100.
Yeah, that total was 176 and a half.
Yeah.
177.
Yeah.
Wow.
But see, he said it joking. Again,
Yeah, everybody watching knows he's joking.
Yeah, I'll say it 100. You heard the room laugh, right? The old school guard of the journalists laughing. He was joking. But as I tweeted out, you're lying to yourself if you sit there yourself and do not think when you're watching games that, God, why do they keep making these stupid passes?
You know what
Just
the problem
dribble it out.
with him saying that now is you will have somebody that is bored at work today that will go back and they will take a look at every single shot in the second half of that game.
Yeah,
and how these guys play.
They'll go multiple games. Like, ooh, Tennessee covered. They didn't cover by half a point here, and so had 2 late turnovers or something. But again, I mean, to show you how slippery of a slope he is on, if you noticed, we used, what's her name, Paige Dower?
Yeah, that is Paige Dower.
Right.
Full Disclosure Productions.
Full Disclosure Productions.
That's the cool logo. FD right there.
I like
Full Disclosure.
I like the way she was like, I think I've got a cut on here people are going to use, so we're going to go and throw our logo up. Smart by her. Normally, when Scott uses video, it's from the school.
Yeah, you'll see the school up in the corner.
That's right, and it's good, clean video that the school provides to all the media members. Tennessee edited that part out. That's why we had to use Paige Dower. So that shows you how seriously, even though he was joking, Tennessee's like zero. And I would imagine Rick Barnes probably walks over and says, hey, make sure that doesn't get out. I should not have said that.
Well, you even said erase it.
Yeah, make sure that doesn't get out. But
and
I mean,
you could tell his sports information handler was making a face or something when he looked over.
I should
have not said that.
No, Rick, you should not.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Yeah, normally that guy's protecting you from dumb people asking you and setting you up for questions.
Yeah.
Don't do it yourself.
Yeah. All right. We had another journalist that passed this weekend, Phillip Marshall. You Auburn fans know him. I think all fans know Phillip. 76 years old, passed this weekend. I started doing this back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I cannot remember going to an Auburn sporting event that did not have Phillip Marshall in the room for the postgame or anything like that. 17 years with the Huntsville Times, some other papers before that, last few years with Auburn Undercover. Just one of those guys that his writings over the year made up the fabric of the program. You know, the Cecil Hertz in Tuscaloosa, and there are others around programs in the SEC that takes you back to the newspaper days. And Phillip Marshall was that guy at Auburn. Our thoughts and prayers to his family, Phillip continued a great legacy. His dad, Benny Marshall, is one of the more decorated writers in Southeastern Conference history right here with the Birmingham News. So our thoughts and prayers to Phillip Marshall's family and those that are his friends and knew him and his colleagues through Auburn athletics for years and years and years. An icon in SEC media people when it comes to the fabric of this conference. When we come back, more of SEC football and Super Bowl week. And Tyler Booker of the Dallas Cowboys joins the show to start Hour 3 at 11 Central. This is the next round today, being brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Before we do our college football spotlight today, it is February 2nd.
Thank God.
823 years since we've had this perfect setup of the month of February.
What's that?
We have exactly 4 Mondays, 4 Tuesdays, 4 Wednesdays, 4 Thursdays, 4 Fridays, 4 Saturdays, and 4 Sundays this month.
I did not realize that. You normally, because February is a 28-day month, you don't get that all the time?
I guess not. The notes I get, 823 years is the last time we had 4 of everything.
Well, the best part of the weekend was the fact that January ended.
Yeah,
That
so
was the
why do you not like January?
That's the worst month of the year.
Oh, February's the worst month.
No, the weather is so bad in January.
Yeah, we get football in January.
Yeah, you always say that, and I get that. I'm talking strictly about the weather. I understand we get football. The weather in January is a miserable month. I hate January. I celebrate when January ends every single year.
See, I don't know how you say this, though. Our weather's so inconsistent and so volatile.
February will be better than January. January, it's cold. It's dreary. We get a lot of rain. I have chronically dry skin. January's the worst month for that.
Well, we hate that.
Well, I do hate that. It's terrible. I mean, I know you're smirking. I'm not pretending like I've got, some sort of incurable disease, but if you've got chronically dry skin, January's a bad month. And January lasts 45 days. It is an awful month. I am glad it's over. Thank God February's here. I don't care that some oversized rat saw a shadow today. I don't buy into all that crap. We're close to spring.
Oh, is it already been Groundhog Day?
Yeah, it's today. I mean, I don't buy into any of that. That's just a bunch of,
I saw
crap.
if he sees his shadow, he going on the grill. It was one of the best social media posts.
It's really good.
I would like, I know Brooks is back home and he's doing our social from there, but I'm very interested to see what people think the worst month is. Like, I am a February guy because there's nothing outside of the Super Bowl, standalone Super Bowl. There is nothing in sports.
And I do hate that. I do hate that.
I did come prepared in case you said that today, Lance. February, on Friday, we start the Winter Olympics.
Oh, I don't care about that. Don't give two rips.
We'll
about
not
the
watch
Winter
any of
Olympics.
it.
Winter or summer,
and we've
I
got
don't
the
care.
Super Bowl on Sunday.
Yeah. I won't watch Super Bowl this year.
Oh, bowl.
World Baseball Classic starts on March 4th. That's the next big event.
Don't care about that.
A lot of
either.
college basketball between now and then. All right, just had those two things ready to go. So Olympics.
Are y'all excited about the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, as excited as I am about any Super Bowl. I mean, my level of Super Bowl excitement really doesn't change year to year. My Dolphins are never in it. I mean, I'm just as excited about any other Super Bowl.
CPAP Plus brings us part of the show today. Tell us about sleephomealabama.com.
Yeah, you got to get the quality sleep, 8+ hours every single night. If you're not getting it, terrible for the health. You need to reach out to our friends, the O'Neill brothers, Woody and Joe, CPAP Plus and O'Neill Medical, 5 locations throughout the state of Alabama, including 3 right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280 in Trussville. Stop by at CPAP Plus. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you, with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. For more information, go online, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
The College Football Spotlight.
It's the Shannara Spotlight. We do it every single day, presented by our guy, Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. He wanted to build a firm that would help his community against Birmingham, face anything or help them with anything they face. He's done that. Now they handle personal injury claims, of course, but claims for fire and storm damage, as well as bad drug and device claims, workers' compensation claims, injury claims, all that, right? Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. Where do you go when you need legal help? Shannara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com.
Our spotlight today, before we get to the Gus Malzahn news, involves on the state of college football and how concentrated it's been. And we've got a map that I wanted to bring up to you. But we started actually playing for the national championship in an actual game, 1 versus 2, or a playoff, in 1998. So that means we have played 28 championship games. 3 states has 14 of those 28 national championships. And that is Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, represented by blue on this map right here. The rest of the United States
it's crazy.
Has the other 14. If you just factor in South Carolina and Tennessee, you take that number up to 17 of the 28. So you don't have to really start blowing that map up crazy to get out of whack. That's how concentrated it has been until the last 3 years.
Until the last 3 years. Yeah. And, you got to get these flexes out of the way because
we ain't going to be able to do it much longer.
I don't know how. Look, I mean, the SEC is going to pop up and win a national championship every 2, 3, 4 years. But it ain't going to be the dominance like we've seen in the past.
But from BCS to now, the SEC has dominated. Dominated the sport. You can't really word it any other way, and that graphic just shows you. And to your point, that doesn't even account for all the Southern, I know Clemson's ACC, Southern national championships, but the Southeast has dominated this sport in the BCS and early playoff era.
Yeah, you could throw Tennessee, South Carolina, and LSU on that map and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, which takes you up to 20 of the 28.
20 of 28. There's only 8 more. Thank you, Ohio. Ohio State, I mean, accounted for a lot of that. But I mean, I do wonder, as Lance said, over the next 28 years, what's that going to look like? I mean, nobody knows this, but the first 3 of the post-NIL era or the NIL era, the first 3 make it look like this thing's going to be way more spread out than it used to be.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think it's going to be more of a 50-50 split moving forward. I mean, I don't think the Big Ten's going to go on any type of run we saw from, 2006 to 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah, I wonder when we'll ever see a national championship west of the Rockies. Like, when does USC or Oregon ring the bell, or is there somebody that sneaks in, a Washington or somebody like that? That, this sport has been predominantly dominated by the southeastern teams, but boy, west of the Rockies, they just don't contribute at all in the national championship.
Oregon and USC seem poised.
Yeah.
They seem on the path.
Yeah, I mean, like if you gave me the combination of both Oregon and USC and they have to win a national championship over the next 5 to 7 years, I would lean they do. I wouldn't feel great about it.
Yeah. 5 to 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would lean they do. I don't even know which one I like more.
I mean, Lanning's got everything in line outside of winning big games once he gets there.
He does, and another big-name defensive coordinator for Lincoln Riley, but that just has not changed. He's going and gotten big-name defensive coordinators before, and it just hasn't changed.
No, I think this is
the biggest name. There's no doubt about it.
The most ready to actually put a championship defense on the field that Lincoln Riley's ever even gotten close to.
A couple of housekeeping things in college football. We start another week now with no NCAA movement when it comes to tampering in Ole Miss. In fact, last week, Horatio Fields went from Missouri to Ole Miss after already being a Missouri commitment, the former Auburn wide receiver. So he was only Missouri as a flyby, never really went to class there, I guess. And he's at Ole Miss. We know what Dabo said about Pete Golding in the Ole Miss program.
Oh, I think Ole Miss is or the NCAA and Ole Miss are kind of opening their blinds, hoping for another scandal. How long is it just we're going to sit here waiting for something to happen that's never going to happen? And we're just waiting for the next scandal to pop up to push us under the rug a little bit.
Well, that could be LSU with the College Sports Commission. LSU, according to reports, is the first school to be under investigation by the College Sports Commission. They're looking into all the offseason NIL promises and moves and agreements that LSU has signed. And the College Sports Commission, according to reports, taking a look at LSU's operations.
Well, I don't know if you guys have gone through it, but I think it was ESPN released their top 100 NIL portal guys and where they went. And boy, it is littered with LSU. It starts with Sam Levitt and Jordan Seaton, but I mean, it's all over the place. And you just start to scratch your head like you are a certain amount of money. Not that anybody really is abiding to that.
Yeah.
But man, they have colored outside of the lines in a big way.
Oh, I'm sure they have. But here's my question to you, Jim. The College Sports Commission's teeth. I mean, let's say they go to LSU and they find, all right, whoa, you guys, like Lance said, y'all were coloring outside the lines. 53% of the stuff you have committed to these players is illegal. 53% of what you have promised to the players, we do not sign off on. What do they do? What's the penalty?
Well, I mean, I would imagine most fans doesn't know what the College Sports Commission is.
Correct. And that's my question. What's the penalty?
Yeah.
So if the College Sports Commission goes down there and says, you know what? Everything we've been told is correct, LSU. You guys, you've done this totally against the rules. They do what to LSU? Those players are still on LSU's team. They don't say, Jordan Seaton, I'm sorry, you cannot play for LSU, do they? I don't think they do. I mean, I just assume, we talked about this before, like if the College Sports Commission comes in and I'll just use Jordan Seaton, unfair to him, but I mentioned him, so I'll use him as an example. Let's say they've promised Jordan Seaton $5 million. And the College Sports Commission comes in and says, $2.5 million of that ain't flying with us. Those first 2.5, that's good. 2.5, that ain't, I mean, don't you like?
Well, I immediately turned to Jordan Seaton and I'm like, yeah, 2.5's enough. And I'm doing,
Jordan, just shake your head, Jordan.
We're good. Yeah.
Because Jordan's going to find a $2.5 million duffel bag in his apartment that next day, right?
Well, that's
don't you just assume that's what's going to happen?
That's why I think some people are like, why have they been so blatant about this? But I guess if you get these guys, you don't have to have numbers attached, and people are just going to assume you're doing it outside the lines.
To Gus Malzahn's legacy, after we remind you our show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. The website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com can help you jumpstart your weight loss. Leslie and her board-certified team can help you with no contracts, no sign-up fee, and your first consultation with Leslie is absolutely free. If you're struggling with weight loss, maybe you've got some sleep apnea or other dietary or physical issues that can be helped with changing your diet, she's there to help you out. For me, it's protein bars, but she has injection therapies and meal replacement and all that. You can get all the details at planforme.com. Again, no contracts, no sign-up fees. First consultation is free. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Gus Malzahn officially retiring today. Brandon Marcello, the first to report this. 35 years of coaching from an Arkansas high school all the way to being a minute and change away from being a national champion in 2013 if the defense could have made one stop against Florida State at the Rose Bowl. That's quite a journey for Gus Malzahn. His legacy is what? When you think of Gus Malzahn, what do you think of?
I think of early Gus Malzahn kind of changing the way offense was played in the SEC. I mean, I do think he had a massive impact on the way offense was played in the Southeastern Conference, specifically not just as an offensive coordinator, but when he came back to Auburn, it was, the kick six gets so much attention from the 2013 game. Really, the most transformative play of that game was that last touchdown that Auburn scored in regulation.
The Nick Marshall.
Yeah, and that was the play specifically where Nick Saban got upset and was like, is this what we want college football to be? We want to allow offensive linemen to be 3 yards downfield on a pass play? Is this what we're trying to do here? And the rule makers looked at it and said, yeah. So everybody that wasn't already on board with that style of offense kind of got on board with that style of offense.
Yeah, I think he was a pioneer when you look at, what was going on in the early 2010s. When he came back to Auburn that first year, I mean, that was when guys like Colin Cowherd are like, Nick Saban's in trouble.
Yeah.
This guy's already passed him.
Yeah, in hindsight, that was a terrible reaction.
Yeah, I don't know how good of a head coach he was. I thought he was really, really solid.
13 years as a head coach. Do you know how many losing seasons?
I read it. I saw it.
Offhand, I'd guess 0.
Two losing seasons.
His final 2 seasons.
His last 2 years at Central
Florida
were losing seasons.
It's only 2 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Or I guess he had 4 seasons there, but 2.
I mean, he was one of the original high school to college guys that actually worked. Now, when he went to high school to college, I think he and Houston Nutt butted heads, didn't they?
Well, I think they had a difference on who they wanted to start. I think Houston Nutt wanted to start Casey Dick.
And Gus wanted his guy, which was
Mitch
Mustaine. And as I remember it, once Houston Nutt was like, I might have screwed this up, and Gus kind of got control of the offense a little bit, they started clicking. They started humming on offense, and then obviously he was off to coach at Arkansas State and then Auburn and Arkansas State and all those places. But
unfortunately, most people are remembered for their flaws now. It's a different time, and so I think people are going to remember Gus Malzahn instead of the guy that has as much success against Nick Saban as anyone, and a guy that was very, very close to winning that national championship in the Rose Bowl. He'll be known as 4 or 5 loss Gus, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do think. But you just said right there, now that Nick Saban's retired, nobody's going to equal this. Really, he and Dabo Swinney, probably the 2 most successful coaches ever to face Nick Saban multiple times, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and then Hugh Freeze, if Gravedigger never existed.
That's true.
Like Hugh would,
Hugh would be in that category.
I mean, he would be, beating him 3 times.
Yeah, but Hugh's only got the 2 wins because of Gravedigger. But, I mean, of the coaches that had multiple games against Nick Saban, really Gus Malzahn and Dabo Swinney had the most success.
Yep, I would agree.
And that's the best coach that's ever done it.
Gus writes, after 35 years, it's time for me to step away from coaching. I'm excited to spend more time with my family and focus on the next chapter of my life. I want to thank Coach Norvell for giving me the opportunity to coach at such a prestigious program. I will continue to follow Florida State, and I believe great things are ahead for the program under Coach Norvell's leadership and for the offense under Tim Harris, who gets promoted up today by Mike Norvell to become the offensive coordinator. Gus is only 60, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is a lot of people would love to shut it down at 60 with a bank full of money, which he's got. So, I mean, this has got to be exciting for Gus and his family. Always seemed like a good guy, but one of the most boring coaches we've ever been around.
He really was. I mean, he was just kind of a, if it was an EKG, he was the flat line, right? Flat line means you're dead, so it's probably a bad example, but he was kind of the flat line on the EKG. Here's a stat from Jeremy. And Jeremy, I will go back to this. Jeremy, I remember on social media was like, the firing Gus Malzahn's a mistake when Auburn fired him. And I think we were on Jocks at the time, if I remember correctly. And we were like, yeah, you got to move on, He's like, no, you're wrong. We'll regret this move. How about this stat? Go back to 2008 when Saban got Alabama rolling. Every season Gus has not been on Auburn's staff has been a losing season since then.
How about that?
I can't sit here and independently confirm that, but in my mind, they were all winning seasons.
Yeah, he was the OC for the national championship.
That's
he was there one more year, right? And then in 2012.
Yeah, OC in 9, 10, and 11, and then 12 left. Yeah.
12 was when Chizik lost the job.
That's right.
He was at Arkansas State. He came back to be the head coach.
At 13, they never had a losing season there.
And that's great, but it got to a point, you guys I think would agree with this, where it wasn't going to be any better. Like you would have continued to have your 8 and 5 and 9 and 4s, which in retrospect looks really good right now for Auburn, but they were kind of stuck at that point. And it was like, let's transition where we want to get to a level where we're competing year in, year out for championships.
Yeah, it was Frank Solich in Nebraska. You're like, 9 wins, but we're kind of stuck at 9 wins.
But if I'm Auburn, I continue to try it. Like, we want to get to that point. There's other programs, like Ole Miss has finally gotten kind of to that point. Like, if Ole Miss can do it, we can do it.
Would you agree with this statement? Auburn, from the chat, Auburn was the hardest top-tier job in college football when Gus was there. He kept Auburn from collapsing into obscurity a decade ago.
Well, I thought what was so difficult about it was the fact that you're in such a small state with, 3 million people, and you got Nick Saban across it doing what has never been done. And we said that. Like, you can't coexist in this state and have success with Nick Saban.
He coached at Auburn at the worst possible time.
And Georgia wasn't bad. I mean, Mark Richt was good, and then Kirby took over.
Yeah. No, he coached at Auburn maybe at the most difficult. It was
and LSU was good with Les Miles.
Yeah, Georgia on the way to the peak of their program's history, and Alabama, I would say, at the peak of their program's history. And that's your two biggest rivals. I mean, he was probably at Auburn at the most difficult time ever to be an Auburn head coach, honestly. And had, played in 2 SEC championship games. And to your point, I won't even pin it on the defense. I always forget the receiver. I think it was Ricardo Lewis. Was it? But
I was going to say Darvin Adams. But
Nick Marshall has the throw over the middle. Not a good throw.
Well, I think
I'm
it was.
Not pinning it on the receiver.
I thought that was Darvin Adams.
Yeah,
where it hits him in the ankle.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ankle throw. If he catches that, I think he walks in, and Auburn coast in that game. They should have beaten Florida State. He should have a national championship. I don't know how much of that I pin on Gus, really. I mean,
that was more you went again. I mean, you guys remember how good Jameis was that year.
Yeah.
And you do ball in hand, you're like, the one guy right now, the Heisman Trophy winner that you don't want ball in hand.
We were under 2 minutes when Trey Mason scored.
Oh, yeah. And Auburn still had the kickoff where they ran the trick play. Now, a lot of people would go back and say, well, it took 2 of the craziest plays in the history of football for them to be in that position. So
very true.
I mean, that is not an untrue statement. I mean, without the prayer at Jordan Hare and the kick 6, they're not even in that situation. But those plays did happen. And there they are in the national championship game with a great opportunity to win it.
Before we do the viewing menu today, part of the show being brought to you by Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. He'll get on your roof and give you a free no-cost roof inspection. That's what Greg and his wife Andrea pride themselves on, is trying to help Alabama families. They are a big Alabama family with 10 kids, and some of those kids work with the company they're locally owned for over 20 years. Greg will get up there and give you that free no-cost roof inspection. And let me remind you of this, guys, that when it is time for you to call Greg, if you've got a roof damage problem or something you want to claim with the insurance, call Greg first. He had one of our listeners who called him after they'd already filed with the insurance company, and Greg can't help you as much there after you've already filed with the company as he can if you call Greg first before you call your insurance provider. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Let Greg come out and take a look at it and can sort of help you navigate what you need to tell the insurance guy or see the insurance guy. And once you've called that insurance guy, Greg can only do so much. He'll fight for you now, but he can only fight so much. So call Greg first, and then Greg will tell you how to walk through the process. 205-542-3531. He's got that soft wash program and so much more. It is Storm Restoration Roofing and our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. The number I called back in 2003. Had the 2200 vision, was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Now 2015 vision, better than 2020. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Finally, proof that Tyler does not like me.
Oh, we've gotten to the bottom of this?
We were in the same theater last night at the end of the trilogy, and he did not say hi.
Wow.
I didn't
Tyler.
see him.
Was the theater full or was it empty again?
It was pretty full.
It was pretty full, but I went to it was a 72-hour movie. It felt like I went to the bathroom 3 times during it, and walking from row E, and you were down low. I had to walk past you 3 times at least, and you didn't notice me.
Tyler was locked in.
I mean, I didn't see you.
Well, let me ask you this: why did you not say hey?
Well, I didn't see him either. He told me he was there. I'm walking past.
So you've been to the theater more this weekend than you've been in years
since the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, it was, my wife loves this stuff, and there we are. There's the kickback chairs. I mean, all this has changed since my last trip to the theaters.
It is coming. I don't know how you
reclining
stayed
chairs,
awake.
heated seats.
I went and saw Bone Temple on Saturday, and I'm glad it was really good because I was so comfortable in those chairs. Like, Brown, I don't know how you make it.
Oh, I've gone to sleep in movies in those chairs. Absolutely. I slept. What was that last one I saw in the theater, Tyler? What was the last movie I saw in the theater? What was the name of that?
If?
Yeah, I fell asleep during that one in one of those chairs.
Yeah. I did not fall
it's too
asleep at all.
comfortable.
Those movies are long. I thought the fight scenes are very redundant.
Didn't you say, old boy that produced the movie, he was 45 minutes this time in his preamble?
He talks before him. These are extended things. And how long was this last one?
I mean, I walked in probably, 15, 20 minutes late because I expected Peter Jackson to be doing his whole speech, and he was still going when I walked in.
I timed it at 45 minutes.
I do appreciate this now. When you go and you look at the movie times to buy your tickets, and it says movie will start 25 minutes after this time.
Yeah.
And so you try to time it out. Like I ran to the grocery store, I got gas. I walked in, there was one preview, and it was straight to it.
I kind of like the previews, though.
Yeah.
I kind of like watching the previews.
But the problem is they mix in a bunch of promos with it now, and Nicole Kidman doing her same thing.
Yeah, it drags
how
on and
often
on
do you
and
see
on.
Nicole Kidman?
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the only stuff she's in now,
I mean, she needs to update her profile pic. She still looks good for her age, but that was back when Malzahn was coaching Auburn. It really was.
What else are we watching tonight, Tyler?
Tonight we have a Scream Unseen at AMC. It's rated R. It's 2 hours and 14 minutes, and all signs point to it being the new Dracula movie from Luc Besson.
Yeah.
It's going to be a more traditional adaptation of Dracula, so it's going to be more of that gothic romance rather than a horror movie. But Christoph Waltz will be playing Van Helsing. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, and the kid that played Red in 3 Billboards is playing Dracula. And apparently there's a lot of chicks that like him. But this thing, it released last year overseas. So it's been around for a while. It's just coming to the U.S. market this week.
I saw the previews last night. That was one of the previews they put up before the old boy started talking. And I mean, how many Dracula movies can you do? But this one looks a different take.
Luc Besson, though, going back to The Professional, Leon the Professional, guy's been making great films forever. I do want to see this. Are you going to check it out?
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I've already got my ticket for tonight.
What time's that?
7 o'clock.
A little late, but
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
At 9 p.m. on AMC tonight, there's a docuseries. If you want to catch the first episode, you will have to tune in at 8 p.m., and the finale will be at 9, and it is Rise of the 49ers. So
I've heard that's good.
Yep, it's gotten a lot of good reviews.
Yeah, it has. It's legitimately about the San Francisco 49ers, not about the people that
that'd be like you watching something on the Patriots.
Oh, I know, or the Bills, even worse. Yeah, but I've heard it's good.
Well, they couldn't do one on the Bills.
There's no rise. Yes. The fall of the Bills, right?
Next up on Netflix, they've got a new release called Glittering Gold, Ice Dancing. Ahead of the 2026 Olympic Winter Games, go inside the high-stakes, high-drama world of ice dancing as the sport's top couples skate for gold and glory.
Boy, I tell you, you could pay me to watch that one. I'd fall asleep.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Olympics were awesome when we didn't have any other options back in the day.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, really, what percentage of our audience will watch the Olympics?
I have no idea.
I mean, if you're just guessing, 10%.
I'll watch
in
a
Milan.
handful of events.
It's in Milan. I would imagine, unless they're doing it where there's no midday live coverage. You know, they did that one year. They tried to do that one year where everything was tape delayed. So that means during our show on one or two of our TVs, we could have like live hockey with the NHL players playing, or figure skating. Or they probably won't show figure skating live. They like to save that for
That's their big money thing, right?
For prime time. But we'll have some events going on our TVs if we want to throw it up there.
I mean, I'll throw it up there. I'm not emotionally involved.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch the opening ceremonies.
Friday night, LT.
Yeah.
The breakdancing ceremony was going on during the show when we did the when they did the Summer Olympics.
That's right. That's right. That's
Thought that was the World Games.
You got one more, Tyler?
Yep. Finally, we got some horrible news Friday afternoon going into the weekend, and that was the death of Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
So go on HBO Max and watch Beetlejuice if you didn't catch it last year. They waited way too long to make a sequel to Beetlejuice, but it really didn't matter because Catherine O'Hara still killed it as the mother in that film. She just has the time of her life with Tim Burton and the rest of that cast.
Well, she's just like fine wine. Like, you know, what she was doing with, you know, shows like The Studio and Schitt's Creek.
I forgot The Studio.
Even The Last of Us, you know, taking a dramatic role. Like, so talented at 71 years old. I was thinking about her this morning. Like, she had another 20 years of life possibly. I haven't seen a cause of death. Have you guys?
Well, I saw a headline. I didn't read the story like I am apt to do, that she unveiled some sort of mysterious illness just prior to her death. So I don't know what the illness was.
But to your point, still had her A game.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Funny lady.
Big time.
Funny lady.
Yeah, loved her on Schitt's Creek there. It was really good. All right, that's what Tyler's watching. One more hour to go before Tyler Booker joins the show in the final hour at 11 Central. Super Bowl conversation when we come back. The show being brought to you today by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Oh, Valentine's Day just 12 days away.
It is. And look, there is no reason to procrastinate. You can order right there from your fingertips, whether you're at home or you're in the office. The Woodhouse Day Spa, you can go to birmingham.woodhousedayspa.com. You can order 24/7, get those gift cards for that special Valentine in your life, or you can just stop by the Summit Shopping Center. It's a beautiful location right there. Go see Stuart and the great staff. Tell them the next round sent you. But you can choose a menu of over 70 options, including the massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Again, 24/7. You can order birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical offices, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart. And taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour 2 of the show now as we roll on. Show number 1123, 207 days away from the start of the college football season again, with the Super Bowl, the last meaningful football game of this season, coming up on Sunday. We're about to talk about that already. We've discussed in the first hour. You can go back and get it wherever you get our podcast, Apple and Spotify. If you're not listening to us or watching us live right now, we've already talked about the domination of Florida over Alabama. We'll get back into Charles Bediako and that burden that is on the Alabama team right now with Bediako in the national news. Tennessee outlasting Auburn 77-69. A little more SEC basketball later on. Alabama gets A&M this week, and then Auburn down at Auburn. Auburn has the midweek bye. That's straight ahead for the Crimson Tide. And we talked about the retirement of 60-year-old Gus Malzahn, who is walking away from the Florida State program. But Super Bowl conversation starts this hour off, brought to you by our friends at Crane U. If you're looking to change jobs in 2026, Crane U can help you out.
Yes, they can, Dunaway. Our friends at Crane U want to remind you, get the Crane training you need today. If you're looking for a new career and need further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, the team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make your job easier, your job site safer. Crane U also offers certification, safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes available monthly, so call or visit our friends at Crane U. When you call, mention the next round, 10% off all the great services. Call 855-CRANE-U or visit them online, craneu.com.
So the Super Bowl is Sunday. It's on NBC. Ironically, this will be the first time Mike Tirico, maybe arguably one of the better, if not the best play-by-play guys in the NFL. He's well liked. This will be his first Super Bowl to call.
That's hard to believe.
As a play-by-play guy,
yeah. Well-deserved. Good for Mike Tirico. He is one of the best in the business right now. So I am very, very surprised he has not done one.
People are very critical of the analyst that works with him, but I hear very little criticism of Tirico. I think he is He's as good. Again, he's as good as there is.
We will hear from Tyler Booker, who will join the show coming up at the top of hour number 3 here. And we'll ask Booker about this wild season in the NFL. But I remember the 1981 Super Bowl because the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals were horrible football franchises for most of my childhood.
Right.
Middling at best. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and the 49ers and the Bengals are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, I think this was the impact of Bill Walsh and, obviously Joe Montana. And look, those Bengals teams, back to the guy that nobody likes, Chris Collinsworth, really good receiver, Ken Anderson. I mean, that was a Bengals team, and a lot of people believe the Chargers were better that year, but I don't know if you remember, Chargers go to the AFC Championship game, but it was like -2 degrees. It was like when the Rams played in Chicago, and Dan Fouts and the Chargers couldn't handle that cold, so Cincinnati goes on. And then they go and they play a cold Super Bowl in the Silverdome in Detroit, I think it was, and there was snow on the ground everywhere. That was the beginning, and I'm sure this, back to the documentary, the 49ers documentary, that zero chance I will watch that, but it probably starts around that time because that's when the dynasty really, really kicked off.
Yeah, so this is the first year since that 1981 Super Bowl that we've had 2 Super Bowl participants with that long of preseason odds. 50-1 or greater odds to be in the Super Bowl. So these are really 2 Cinderella-type stories to be in this Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, first of all, let's start with New England. They have to hire Mike Vrabel. You've got a second-year quarterback in Drake May. You really don't have the weapons. Like, I would fully expect them to draft receiver coming up. I mean, they're going to go out and get somebody besides Stephon Diggs. I mean, offensively, the way they've put this thing together has been pretty incredible. And on the other side, it was like, okay, Geno Smith's gone. We're going to bring in Sam Darnold. And when people looked at this Seattle Seahawks team, and they're bringing in a new offensive coordinator, by the way, another shot against Ryan Grubb over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
There was just no chance Sam Darnold was going to lead this team anywhere deep.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I saw an interview with Darnold over the weekend. I wish I could give credit, but I can't remember who was doing the interview, but over the weekend where they kind of teed him up to talk about bad feelings about his previous teams. Help me remember. Jets, it didn't work out. Vikings, it worked out, but they decided to move
Jets,
on.
Vikings,
And I'm trying to remember,
49ers, and the Panthers.
And very well done.
This is his 5th team.
5th team. I mean, how often do you see a guy on his 5th team make a Super Bowl?
In his 20s.
In his 5th team in his 20s. And he was like, no, man, those are great experiences. I learned something at every one of those stops, and I'm not who I am today without those stops. I just thought he handled it in such a classy fashion.
No, he's
rather than say, I'm trying to do this to prove the Jets wrong, or I'm trying to do this to prove the Vikings wrong because they moved on from me. He was like, no, man, those are great situations, and I learned something from every stop.
Yeah, I think he can be a lesson to whatever your field of expertise is, like the persistence. And, he could have easily taken millions of dollars and just been like, hey, this ain't going to work out, but continued, wanted to play, and he's an easy guy to pull for, being a USC guy. And you guys remember that first year he was starting, they go to the Rose Bowl, and they beat Penn State in that incredible game with Trace McSorley and Saquon Barkley. Like, at that point, you could have been like, I could see Sam Darnold take a team to a Super Bowl, but after that, there was no chance.
I mean, but if you're a Jets fan, you got to look at that and say, maybe it is us. If you haven't already accepted that, I think you've probably already accepted that as a Jets fan, but you're like, I mean, my gosh, we drafted this guy straight out of college, and he was a complete bust for us, and here he is quarterbacking a team that's favored to win the Super Bowl now.
So the best turnaround to win a championship in NFL Super Bowl era history is the 1999 Rams.
Yep.
A 13-win difference when you think about the postseason. If the Patriots win on Sunday, it'll be a 17
That's crazy.
win turnaround from last year to this year. 17 wins more, plus 17.
Yeah, they're already at 16, which is baffling. I mean, that is just mind-blowing that you could be a 16-win differential year over year.
Are you able to separate the old school Patriots, same ownership, obviously, no Belichick, no Brady, with this new Patriots? Because I think the Patriots, there was a lot of fatigue. Obviously with the amount of Super Bowls, when you go to 8 and you win 6.
It was going on about the same time as Alabama's dynasty was going on. You had sort of the same type of fatigue.
Yeah, so I just wonder with this kind of break and hiatus and coming off such a bad year, are people like, can you get behind the Patriots, or do you think people still pull against the Patriots?
I think more people will pull for the Seahawks because it feels like newer blood than the Patriots, even though the Seahawks aren't that far removed from when they were playing in Super Bowls. I think To answer your question, I think probably the Seahawks, if you're going to view it from that point of view. Do you feel like Drake May is where Brady was in his second year starting?
I think in some ways
he's
better. He's better. He's ahead of that.
How scary is that? Now, I don't think he's going to be another Tom Brady.
No, I mean, look, he's – you know what's crazy is I think they've got a shot at winning this Super Bowl. Nobody really gives them a shot. They're only 4.5-point underdog. But can you imagine if first of all, getting there, but if he's to win one, if you're Josh Allen, if you're Lamar Jackson, if you're Joe Burrow, those guys haven't won one. Two haven't even been to one. At least Burrow's been to one. But you're sitting there – and he's got a championship. I mean, that would be absolutely insane.
Well, really, for either one, Lance. Like, if I'm one of those quarterbacks and I either see a guy playing for his fifth team in his 20s or a second-year player, if I'm Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or fill in any quarterback that's never won one in this league that has played a while, you're like, I mean, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong here?
That's why my poon still hurts, and I can't get over this game. Like, I was talking about it on the ride in with somebody last weekend's NFC Championship game. Like, how is Matt Stafford going to get out-dueled by Sam Darnold? And one of these two guys is going to win a championship. It's just hard to stomach. It really is.
I know.
So you really are going to try not to watch the Super Bowl?
I'm not going to try purposely. I just don't have an appetite for it right now.
Okay, we have students from Vestavia who are in studio with us today, Vestavia High School. Will you watch the Super Bowl? 2 guys, 2 girls.
Okay,
everybody's nodding yes.
All 4
yes.
have said yes. All right.
Are
you excited about Bad Bunny?
Okay.
Well, that was less of a...
2 girls, yes, quickly on Bad Bunny. The 2 guys are waiting to...
One had a cringy face.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's probably the least anticipated halftime show in forever. I really don't care about that.
I don't really care one way or the other about Bad Bunny. I'm not a fan or...
I hope I come around, but I just, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm in the midst of my day 5 of sobriety.
Right.
So I can't even enjoy a cold beer with the Super Bowl.
But I would just say if the Bills were in this thing, I mean, of course, now I'd be watching it cheering for
whoever plays them.
You know, yes, whoever plays them, Russia or Ukraine, I don't care. I cheer for either one against the Bills. But I am in for whoever plays them. But one reason I'm going to watch the Super Bowl is it is my last football game until August. I mean, I am not going to miss that. It's the last football game I get to see until August.
Do we not have the East-West Shrine game anymore?
I mean,
it's already been played.
You know how quiet the Senior Bowl was over the weekend, though?
And Pro Bowl. Yeah. Was the Pro Bowl this weekend?
Oh, I don't know.
Or is that next weekend?
I think it was this past weekend.
I don't know. Because I think ESPN's a part of that, right? They would be hyping that thing up.
I thought they did it in the bye week.
Nah, maybe they do it afterwards now.
Okay.
I thought it was in the bye week too, but seriously,
but I don't care about either one of those.
I spent 12 hours on 3 different nights in a movie theater. So I was either going or coming from a movie theater trying to stay awake. To early Valentine's to my wife, going to see Lord of the Rings. So I don't know.
The Pro Bowl's tomorrow night.
Oh, how about that?
I just wonder.
Did you know they moved it? I did not know they moved it. It
Tuesday
says
night.
Good luck. I mean, are you going to watch it on Tuesday?
No, the 2026 Pro Bowl held February 3rd at the Moscone Center in San Francisco, California. 7-on-7 flag football. 6:30 ESPN or 5:30 Central ESPN if you want to watch it. It's an afternoon game in California now.
I know your wife Jen Brown used to take advantage of Iron Bowl shopping, like nobody was out around here.
Christmas shopping on Iron Bowl.
I'm not going to go shopping on Super Bowl Sunday, but I am intrigued to see what are restaurants and movie theaters? What are they like
on
the Super Bowl? Yeah,
during the Super Bowl.
Only one way to find out.
Because all Americans watch this game.
Yeah.
We'll do our 4 downs in the next segment. Tyler Booker in the final hour of our show. A couple more things to get to in this segment, being brought to you by our friends at A+. If you're looking to change your home, your kitchen, your bathroom specifically, like the Browns did, our friends at A+ can help you out.
Yeah, when it came time to redo the master bath in the Brown house, my wife Jennifer jumped on the internet. She scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. Brad Bell was the guy she picked. I'm glad she did because Brad did tremendous work for us. AlabamaBathRemodels.com is the website. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That's where you go to find out more about Brad and his crew. And they did tremendous work for us. They were on time every day, which is saying a lot. They were courteous. They were clean at the end of each day. They walked us through everything they had accomplished that day and made sure it met our expectations. And I'll tell you, it did every single day. One thing Brad specializes in, actually 3 things he specializes in, are master bath redesigns, as I've said, also kitchen and master bedroom closets. Now, why that's important is because you spend a lot of time in those rooms when you own your home and you want to enjoy those rooms. But when you go to sell your home, you can make some of the money back on those. And that's his specialty. Not to say it's all he does, but he definitely specializes in those things. Give Brad a call if you want him to come look at your job, 205-422-1758. That's 205-422-1758. Or you can visit him online, alabamabathremodels.com. That's alabamabathremodels.com.
Outdoor hockey was huge this past weekend. Before we show you the NHL, at Penn State, Penn State's hockey team was a club team just 14 years ago. Terry Pagula, the Bills owner, donated $88 million to build them an on-campus arena. But this past weekend, they decided to put a rink in the middle of Beaver Stadium, and they played in front of 74,575 as Penn State won this past weekend outdoor hockey at Beaver Stadium. Just an insane scene.
I saw the high that day was 17, Jim. That many people sat in 17-degree weather to watch hockey.
And I did not know this. You have to worry about outdoor ice rinks becoming too cold because then you put ruts and grooves into the ice, and it's not good for playing hockey on. So you sort of have to keep the ice a little warm in 17-degree weather to make it playable. That's at Penn State. Pennsylvania, 17 degrees, no problem.
That's right.
The NHL always plays these outdoor games at least once a year. I went to one in Nashville a few years ago. They played in Tampa. My Tampa Bay Lightning played last night. Look how they entered the stadium. They're dressed in full Buccaneer uniforms. They had Buccaneer jerseys made, and they get the pants and the helmets from the Buccaneers, and that's Baker Mayfield and Tristan Wirfs who lead them into the stadium with the boombox leading the team in. The Boston Bruins were dressed up as Patriots, not the New England Patriot uniforms.
The dudes that stand in the end zone and blow off a musket.
Yeah. But that was pretty cool. A sellout, 64,617. Saw the Lightning come back from 5-1 to win that game last night.
Largest
at Raymond
comeback
James
in
Stadium.
Franchise history, by the way.
Yeah, to win in the shootout.
I told Dunaway, how crazy is it, though, that this was a historic cold spell in Central Florida.
Yeah. They didn't have to worry about the ice melting. They had to worry about keeping it warm enough to play.
That's what Jim told me, is like they eventually had to warm the ice up. It was so cold in Tampa last night. Now, the only time I've ever been to Tampa, it was cold then, too. That was Alabama and Clemson. That was a miserable week of weather in Tampa.
So we built the pool in 2013, so 13 years, first time it's ever been frozen.
Oh, your pool's frozen right now?
No, it's not frozen all the way through, but it's about a half inch to an inch thick.
Could you go out and hit a golf shot? Oh, here's the Boston Bruins. They took some pictures, like Washington crossing the Delaware.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's how they were dressed up, not the New England Patriots. Speaking of hitting a golf ball on ice, would you walk out to your pool in the middle and swing and hit a golf ball off of it?
No, I would crash through. Like Bullet Chili probably could walk out there. Oh, yeah. You might be able to creep out there. What's your weight right now?
After all the popcorn this weekend, I'm up 4 pounds to 181.
That's a lot of popcorn.
Let's don't do it. Yeah. Let's don't do it.
This happened this weekend on a golf course. This off my TikTok feed. This guy walks out there, takes a swing, misses, falls, and then he falls through the ice.
Yeah.
Thick enough to walk out there, thick enough for his golf ball to lay on the water, takes a swing, misses the ball, slips and falls, and then busts through the ice.
Well, I mean, as bad as the cold is, like he gets swept under. If there's any kind of currents, he's done.
Yes.
I mean, done.
I mean, the thought process on that thing was pretty bad.
Well, I mean, people just want to achieve whatever they do on social, and they don't worry about the consequences, like the girl that got attacked by the snow leopard last week.
That's right.
See, I try to, not put all the crazy things I see on the internet on the show because sometimes I think it's staged.
It's AI, maybe.
Yeah, but this absolutely he
panics. You can right when it cracks, he panics.
Oh, he's grabbing for the top of the ice. Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to get out.
He had no plan to fall through that ice when he walked out there.
If I'm his buddy, I would go help, but boy, I would be skeptical.
Oh, I don't know if I'm getting out there.
You just let that person die?
I'm not going to let him
Basically,
drown.
He's a puppy in your backyard?
I'm not going to let him drown.
Is this shocking anyone?
What? I'm not going to let him drown, but I am.
It's a person, not a dog, bro.
Can I finish my thought? I'm not going to let him drown, but I'm going to see if he can get out of the hole first before I go creeping out.
But again, what if the current gets him?
Well, what am I going to do if the current's
No,
got him
but if
under
you
the-
could have gotten him before.
Well, I mean, he's what, 20 yards out on the ice? I mean, it's going to take me a minute to get 20 yards out on the ice. I mean, part of it is you were dumb enough to go out there, get yourself out of the trouble. I am saying, like, if he can't get back up above, I am going to go out there and help him. But if he's immediately, like, grabbed onto the top of the ice, I'm not going out there.
Do we know the outcome here?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, see?
I really don't, but I'm going to say he's fine now just because.
Since we've shown it.
Well, they probably wouldn't send it out if it was his last moments, right?
Probably not.
Maverick
Probably not.
Hammerfist says you got to putt that one. So when you take a full swing on the
Yeah,
on
I
the
mean,
ice.
really, what kind of divot would he have served up if he's on regular quarters?
Well, he missed bad.
Back to sports in the next segment. Our non-sports moment of the day brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Friends at UCA can help you out for 70 years for men and women, all your urological needs. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920. 930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. Prostate health, kidney stones, early detection can save your life. Make an appointment or get details, urologycentersalabama.com. Do you guys care about, let's see if I can say this word right. I'm an Alabaster guy, so born and raised, 12 years public schools. Celestial? Yes, that word there.
Sachs
A
High School,
celestial event
Yeah,
is coming
could.
up February 28th.
Well, you got to sell me on it. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily just care, but give me the sales pitch here.
Happens right after sunset in the southwestern sky, February 28th.
Okay, I'll still be awake. Lance's sunset is not 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
It's not 7 o'clock, so it's
I'm
not
just
too
talking about
late.
7 o'clock, getting out. Movie
Yeah,
starts
I got you.
7:30,
Okay, this is
not home till
sunset.
10.
It's
Yeah,
sunset February, so we're talking about 5:30ish.
And luckily, it involves 6 planets and not Uranus, so no jokes.
Oh, Okay. dang.
All right. Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, and Neptune will all be in a perfect line, and you'll be able to see them from Earth.
Oh, yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'll look at that. I mean, it's just going to look like stars.
Oh, yeah. There'll be just 6 bright lights in
Yeah.
the sky. Unlike the image you see there, you
It
will not
won't
be
look
able
like that?
No.
Yeah. It would be cool if it did look like
No.
that.
Yeah.
You're not going to see Saturn's rings, and you're not going to see Uranus.
Like, it's not going to happen again in our lifetime, decades
Right.
and decades again in the future. It does happen occasionally, as we all from third grade remember the orbits that we built.
That's right. Yep.
Well, we talked about the Fernando Mendoza dive-in that Danny Moore probably could have
Painted.
Yeah. I mean, Alabama's on a major hiatus. He could paint this, right?
That's
You
right.
could. It's February 28th, right after sunset, southwestern sky. Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, and Neptune will all be in aligned, and it'll look like 6 bright stars or 6 planes or whatever in the sky. But if you got a telescope, go out and enjoy that. Will you do it or not? Take a look.
What day is that?
I probably will remind you, Brownie. It's February 28th.
If you'll remind me, I mean, there's a chance if the weather's good, I'm on a golf course at sunset. So that's a perfect place to do it.
Oh, absolutely. You can see it all out there.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
that great February weather that
Well,
you've been looking
it's
forward
better
to.
in January, I'll tell you.
All right, when we come back, our 4 downs today, Tyler Booker still to go to the show, and we'll show you what the folks are wearing in the Super Bowl, what uniforms they've chosen to wear. Don't get too excited. And we'll revisit Alabama getting beaten by Florida 100-77 over the weekend, and how Bucky McMillan from Mountain Brook to College Station still has Texas A&M in the first place. That's all coming up the final half of the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at Bojangles. They bring you the tender moment every day.
You can make it bow time at Bojangles. Those heart-shaped Bowberry biscuits are coming to Bojangles, and they are going to be here until the 22nd of February. So you got plenty of time to go in and enjoy those at Bojangles. And while you're doing it, not only are you getting a great start to your day with the Bowberry biscuit heart-shaped, but you're also helping a great cause. 10% of the revenue generated from these are going to go to the Hardest Yard, the Greg Olson Foundation, and the Bojangles Foundation, which helps support heart care services and research in communities Bojangles serves, like the ones in which you're viewing this show. It's all the way through February 22nd. Great way to start your day with a Bowberry biscuit, and get a heart-shaped one now through February 22nd at your local Bojangles, where it's always bow time.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. you heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Remind me next commercial break. Help us send a friend some information real quick on how to roast somebody. I can't use any names here, but I'll need your help to get the right ones.
What do you mean? Like we're helping somebody roast somebody?
Yeah. He's got a luncheon and somebody's introducing him. And he wants a couple of friendly jabs to fire back. So I'll need your help.
Okay.
You are funnier than I am.
All right.
4 Downs in just a second by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt. They bring you 4 Downs every day. Before we get back to that, I do want to point out that Alabama picked up Khalifa Keith, transfer from Appalachian State, to go into the running back room there. And also UCLA is staying at the Rose Bowl, it looks like. They were trying to get out of their lease there and move to SoFi Stadium. That attempt looks like it's not going to work out, so you'll see UCLA staying at the Rose Bowl, at least for next season. That appears to be the case. Our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt join the show now to bring you the 4 downs.
Yeah, let me tell you about our friends. If you're looking for asphalt work, our friends, Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction, based in Tuscaloosa. Excuse me. We are a full-service asphalt contractor trusted on major state, government, and municipal roadway projects across Central Alabama. Not just a big job company, also have dedicated division focused entirely on private driveways, smaller asphalt projects, same crews, same quality, same no-excuse standards, no matter the size of the job, from highways to neighborhoods. Central Alabama Asphalt, client-oriented, quality-focused, and built to deliver. For estimates or opportunities, call 205-764-4961. Also, be sure to visit centralalabamaasphalt.com to check out their full range of services that may fit your needs.
And I'll tell you one thing, if your driveway is old, you get this a lot, or just it's settled in something, this is a great way to go. Asphalt in your driveway, or for turnarounds at your home. And I know if you've got young kids who don't drive yet, and then all of a sudden you go from a 2-car household and everything fits in the garage, and then all of a sudden you've got 4 cars.
Yeah, that parking pad, don't you?
And you need a parking pad. That's where these people come in and can help you out tremendously. So remember that name with our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. Let's do 4 downs.
First down.
So Dick Vitale doing color yesterday with our guy Jimmy
Dykes.
Yeah.
Very busy, Jimmy Dykes. Very busy, man.
Dick Vitale, 86 years old now.
Good run for him.
Oh, wow.
Not his birthday today, but just 86 years old. I was interested in seeing that. Who had the better career, Dick Vitale or Dick Vermeil?
Vermeil won 2 Super Bowls, one with the Eagles, win one with the Rams, one with the Eagles.
Yeah, Super Bowl 15 lost to the Raiders in New Orleans, and then won Super Bowl 34 with the Rams.
Was he thought to be a really good announcer? I was so young when he was doing the announcing.
Vermeil?
Yeah.
I think he
got criticized for it.
I thought he was boring.
Yeah, I really don't remember him. I just remember him doing color for years and years and years on that hiatus between jobs, and then ultimately coming back to the Rams.
See, I didn't know if he was thought to be good or bad. I
don't think we really judge people.
I don't know.
Then.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, I'm serious. You're right. I mean, you just kind of took what you got back then, right?
Yeah.
And Dick Vermeil was what you got. He was doing college games, was he not? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, he was. For ABC.
Yeah, for ABC, he was doing college games. I don't remember him being greater. And now, so the difference is Vitale, very good as an announcer, whether you like him or dislike him. He's had a great long run as an announcer, was not a very good coach, right? I mean, I think he had an overall losing record, did he not?
I think he did with the Rams. I don't
No, Vitale.
Oh, yeah, Vitale, yeah. I was going to say Vermeil, though,
but
probably
Vitale
had an overall losing record with the Rams.
Vitale sort of changed the way, like Madden did in football. Vitale was sort of a personality in the analyst role. In fact, I think Dick did it before Madden did it.
Yeah, so, look, I mean, Vermeil going to Super Bowls is great, but Vitale, to me, was the face of college football, basketball for almost 25 years.
Yeah, better at Detroit than I remember on the college, not in the NBA. In the NBA at Detroit, he was 34-60, so he's not very good in the NBA. But as the Detroit Titans coach, he was 79-29 and took him to the Sweet 16. So I did not realize he was that good. Now, he only coached 4 years.
That's pretty strong.
In college, that's pretty strong, though.
Back then, to go to the Sweet 16, you had to win 1 game.
That was 76, yeah. So that meant he won 1 game. But still, they were 26-3 that year at Detroit. So better than I remembered him. I think I go Vitale, better career here.
Second down.
Interesting, their birthday same day, but Farrah Fawcett would have been 79. Christy Brinkley is 72. Better career, Farrah Fawcett or Christy Brinkley?
I was a Christy Brinkley guy. Christy Brinkley, young Ryan Brown watching Vacation, and Christy Brinkley's in the Ferrari, the red Ferrari. I'm like, yeah, that's what a woman's supposed to look like right there.
Enough to make you eat a dog pea sandwich.
Oh yeah. He's flapping that. He's dancing, flapping that sandwich around, takes that bite.
Farrah Fawcett was in every guy's bedroom probably in the late 70s,
okay, you might
80s.
want to clarify that.
On the wall, on a poster.
There you go.
Do you think that's the most, and for those that are younger than 40, There used to be posters that people would hang in their rooms.
So let's ask Tyler. Tyler's younger. When we say Farrah Fawcett poster, does the
first here's Christy Brinkley?
I mean, look at that, Christy Brinkley in the Ferrari.
She's still got her baby fat right there.
Yeah, I like Christy Brinkley. When we say Farrah Fawcett poster, do you envision Tyler the poster we're talking about?
Probably not.
Yeah, you probably don't. See, it's lost in a younger generation.
Okay, Google Farrah Fawcett poster.
That's going to be the first thing that pops up.
That's all you're going to have to put is Farrah Fawcett poster.
Do you think this is the most sold poster in the history of posters?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
I don't know what else would be in the mix.
Yeah. And to think in the 70s, this was considered risque.
So I didn't know that was Farrah Fawcett, but I have seen that picture.
Yeah. That was risque. She's in a one-piece bathing suit.
That's what I'm saying. That was considered to be like risque back then, and that's a one-piece. I mean, lifeguards wear less than that.
Yeah, I mean, you do get a profile shot of, the left asset.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go Christy Brinkley. That's a tough one, though.
Farrah Fawcett, though, was on Charlie's Angels?
Yep, Charlie's Angels. She also did...
the Burning Bed
I
award,
think
right?
she might have won, a Emmy for that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Farrah Fawcett.
I'm going to lean Farrah Fawcett, too, but really, really
Derek
close.
Poster might have passed that one.
Maybe.
The Bo Derek poster was pretty popular.
I never liked the Bo Derek's hair.
I'm not saying one was better than the other.
That was the poster, right?
Oh yeah, where she's got dreads, doesn't she?
Yeah.
In that? Yeah.
So why was this one the popular poster?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Were there other Farrah Fawcett posters you could get?
I'm sure, yeah. But I don't know why. That just was.
It was.
It was a bestseller.
I don't know why that was.
Does it give you any background on that? If you go back out, I think it said 12 million sold.
Posters were a big deal back then, Tyler.
Best-selling poster of all time with over 12 million copies sold, photographed by Bruce McBroom.
The Bruce McBroom?
Yeah.
She was 29 years old.
29. She looks younger than that. Yeah.
Third down.
More celebrity birthdays here. Let's go. Shakira, 49 years old today. Well, she does 49 well.
She does.
Better career, Shakira or Drake May, ultimately?
Drake May's just getting started. You think Stafford's going to win the MVP?
He should.
Yeah, but May is going. It's either him or May.
Yeah, I think Stafford will win it.
I mean, if you get MVP your second year, and if he can win the Super Bowl and get the MVP,
that's crazy.
What an incredible start to a career.
Okay, now what if he loses the Super Bowl
and doesn't get the MVP? Or does get the MVP?
Yeah.
I mean, NFL MVP is hard.
Okay, now do Dan Marino.
Well, I mean, Dan Marino, we saw the rest of that career, and that was the only Super Bowl. That was the last Super Bowl he ever quarterbacked. Right.
But even if he only makes it to one Super Bowl, and he's an AFC champion, if he wins the MVP, that's better Shakira. She's basically a one-hit wonder.
The hips don't lie. That was it.
Hips don't lie. No, there were some other whenever, wherever, or something.
Yeah, but she's an elite dancer. But as far as an artist, I don't think she's as big as Drake May will end up being.
I mean, I would say Dan Marino, back to your point, has had a better career than Shakira.
Yes.
So I would lean Drake May, but internationally, we don't know how big Shakira is.
Oh, yeah. I think we do.
It's she's probably on posters.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure she is. Yeah.
Isn't she like 4'11"?
I don't know.
No, I think she's 4'11".
You think Shakira?
Yeah, I really do.
Shakira height.
I think her hips are at 4'11".
5'2", according to Wikipedia.
Okay, a little off. That might be media guide height, though.
That's
right?
true. Has she done the combine yet?
She didn't do a Super Bowl. She helped
No, they
Jennifer
were
Lopez, right?
co-headliners.
Yeah, J-Lo, right?
Yeah, it was, but they were co-headliners.
She weighs between 110 and 120 pounds. Well, that's bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
Fourth down.
James Franklin, 54 years old. Who gets to a college football playoff first, James Franklin or Alex Golesh?
Yeah, let me first make a point that James Franklin's 54. Does he seem only 6 years younger than Gus Malzahn?
No, he seems a lot younger.
He seems much younger.
He does,
you could have convinced me late 40s still for James.
But
Franklin.
I think a lot of that's personality too.
And you could have said Gus Malzahn was a little older than 60.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little surprised Gus is only 60.
Yeah, he's more 65. Franklin's more 48.
If you told me
That's right.
Franklin today turned 49 and Gus retired at age 65, I would have believed both.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're only 6 years apart.
So when you look at it, though, Franklin going to Virginia Tech.
I'm also surprised how close to age I am with the late Phillip Marshall, too. So I was like,
How
wow.
old was Phillip?
He was 76.
76,
I'm
okay.
still,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
still
got
a
some
long
years.
ways to
Yeah,
go, but
yeah.
I'm closer than I wanted
So the
to be.
ACC over the last 2 years in the 12-team playoff has had 3 different teams in their field. A lot of people believe Virginia Tech in year 1 can be a sleeper. But do you think Golish gets Auburn there first or James Franklin for Virginia Tech?
Quickly, people say easier path for Franklin in the chat, which is true, in the easier conference.
It is easier path, but I would tell
Fewer
you,
teams.
yeah, only 1 or 2 ACC teams are going to get in. 4 or 5 SEC teams are going to get in.
That's the thing. Like 9-3 for Virginia Tech, you got no shot. 9-3, you've got an argument.
What this
if you're
comes
up.
down to is I have seen James Franklin be consistently a 9 or 10 win coach, and I have not seen that at Alex Golish yet. Can Franklin do that at Virginia Tech is the $1 million question. But I'm going to bet on what I've seen. I mean, you could criticize him all you want. The criticism is valid. Like, he couldn't beat top 10 teams. He couldn't win the big games. But you know what he did every year? He knocked on the door of 10 wins every single year, it felt like, at Penn State. So I think I'll go James Franklin.
I think I will go Golish. I don't feel great about it. I think it's going to be tight, but I'll go Golish.
I do feel like we're becoming NFL-like in the SEC, where it's not the exact change percentage-wise of teams that were in the playoffs last year or fall out and certain new teams come in. But we did have some new teams make it this year. I'm going to go with Golish gets there before Franklin.
Well, it's to your point, though, it's gotten to where Georgia's kind of like the Chiefs were. Georgia's just going to be there every year. May not win it every year, but they're going to be in the playoffs every year. But then the rest of those teams could cycle around a little bit more than it seems like they used to your point.
Like, it would not surprise me this year if Texas is back in.
Yeah.
If Georgia misses it, but we have LSU and maybe a couple others that weren't in it last year.
That's right. I mean, this year, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Georgia for the 12-team, brand new teams. Now, we've only had 2 years of that, but still, I see what you're saying.
And that's 4 Downs today. Brought to you in part by our great friends at Alexander Shinara Browning.
Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Shinara.com is the website you go to. Shinara.com. When you're in need of any legal assistance, you start with Alexander Shinara. Why? Well, number one, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. That's a great promise right there. And number two, he's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. That is very exciting. When you're in a legal situation, you're like, well, who do I go with? Well, how about a guy that's recovered $2 billion for his clients? Think he knows what he's doing? Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. He does know what he's doing. Shinara.com, that's the website to go to. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Shinara.com.
We're going to get back to the Nate Oats thing a little bit later on, Tyler. I'm sorry I gave you the sign for cut 4 there. Brown's got some point spreads, early point spreads for some college football games, including Auburn Baylor, that has popped up. And as he finds that, LT, if you will tell us about our friends at Odie's, and this will be our quick look at football, 207 days away from the start of the college football season.
Yeah, hopefully you had an opportunity to check out Odie's this past weekend. 2 locations, the original Crestline, newest location in Edgewood, live music every Friday and Saturday night. But remember, every Wednesday night, me and Brown will be down there with Will Haver doing Odie's Team Trivia, the original location in Crestline. Great food at both locations from Rodney Davis, but doing it almost 4 decades. The wings, the burgers, the sandwiches, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Birmingham Institution. Get in either location. It's Odie's Tavern.
These first 2 aren't super exciting, but they are week 0 games. I was unaware NC State Virginia was a week 0 game.
Yeah, actually down in Brazil, I believe.
Interesting.
Are you serious?
Either that or had a weird dream over the weekend. One of those two.
I mean, NC State and Virginia are playing in Brazil?
I think so, yeah.
Now, I knew North Carolina and TCU were playing in Ireland. I didn't know that was the Irish game.
Yeah.
I was unaware that NC State and Virginia were playing in Brazil. That's new on me.
Yeah.
So you've got both those games are week 0 games. Virginia, if you care, is a 3.5-point favorite over NC State, a total of 54.5. These are from FanDuel Sportsbook, by the way. TCU, a 7.5-point favorite over North Carolina in Ireland. The total in that game is 50.5. I don't know if anything jumps out at you about either one of those point spreads. Virginia, 3.5-point favorite over NC State.
TCU, easy money last year against North Carolina in that opener.
Oh, that was a complete beatdown. And That was in Chapel Hill. This will obviously be in Ireland.
Virginia NC State is week 0, August 29th in Rio.
I was completely unaware of this.
Yep.
And I question why on earth are we playing NC State and Virginia in Rio de Janeiro?
Because there's a lot of people there that could buy Virginia and NC State, and they're paying them to play there.
They couldn't tell you Virginia and NC State play football.
I would ask you, why are they playing North Carolina and TCU in Dublin?
Hey, look, they're already promoting it. Forster's got the graphic for us.
What's it called? The college football what?
Brazil.
Brazil. Oh, okay. I couldn't see that far across the screen, across the room.
Ironically, that's that's actually an ACC conference game, and then North Carolina TCU involves an ACC team. Also that weekend, New Mexico State, Florida State. Any line on that one?
No, those are the only 2 week 0 lines I got.
Hawaii plays at Stanford that weekend. As we get ready for the college football season, Hawaii is a very sexy early pick to be the group of 5 representative in the playoffs.
Hawaii is?
With Timmy Chang.
Boy, he has brought that program back from the brink if he can get them in that kind of discussion.
And probably I'm going to go ahead and say it, the best game week 0 is in Las Vegas, Memphis and UNLV.
I mean, I just gave you that the one in Brazil is a 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
I mean,
Virginia
Memphis,
NC State could have playoff implications.
Memphis and UNLV have been really good the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Those are actually 3 pretty good week 0 games.
Yeah, I mean, as far as week 0 goes, that's not bad. You got 3 ACC teams playing, one of which is a conference game. Week 1, Baylor and Auburn. Now, keep in mind, this game is moved to Atlanta. This is in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Auburn, obviously, the home team in this game for what it's worth. Baylor at Auburn, neutral site, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Baylor, Auburn, neutral site. I will say Auburn 1.5.
I'll say Auburn 2.5.
FanDuel thinks way more of Auburn than you guys. Auburn 7.5.
Wow.
Playing host to Baylor in that game, total of 58.5.
DJ Lagway, the quarterback at Baylor, didn't they move that game to Friday night? Or was that last year? That was last year.
That was last year. They moved it to Atlanta, but it was Friday night.
I mean, they are much more proven at quarterback with Byron Brown.
With Byron Brown, I think that shows you the Byron Brown effect there. That's an interesting point spread. Auburn 7.5. I was a little stunned by that one. I am also surprised by this one. Clemson is at LSU. Week 1, obviously no time set, so you don't know if this is night game Tiger Stadium, but it is in LSU's version of Tiger Stadium.
I would say 7.
What'd you say?
10.5.
10.5.
That's a big number.
That is a big number. I also saw as an aside, FanDuel, while we're on this game, has got 3 win totals, and it's the 3 most random teams, but one of them is LSU. What do you think they've got a win total for LSU?
8.5.
9.5.
9.5.
That's
a big win total for Lane Kiffin and LSU.
I mean, because you bet the over, you're assuming they're going to the college football playoff.
Absolutely,
in year 1.
you are in year 1. 9.5 is your over/under for win totals right there for them. The other 2, by the way, were Arkansas and Virginia Tech. I don't know why we've got those win totals. Arkansas's 4.5. Virginia Tech. We just mentioned James Franklin at 7.5, so that's better than Virginia Tech's been recently. Wisconsin Notre Dame is the Sunday night game, or the Sunday, I think it may be a day game at Lambeau. Either way, it's a Sunday game.
Already have TV for that. It's NBC. They have not announced the kick time.
Okay.
I would say Notre Dame is a 14.5 point favorite.
Keep going. Yeah. 16.5. I mean, that is the way we're going to show that on NBC. By kick, Notre Dame might be a 3-touchdown favorite in that game. I will point out, while we're discussing Notre Dame, FanDuel has them as the favorite to win the national championship. Is that universal, or is that just a FanDuel deal? Have you seen them as the favorite?
I have not.
So Notre Dame.
I've seen Ohio State. I've seen Indiana. Now I've seen Notre Dame.
Notre Dame plus 650. So that's what, 6.5 to 1, right?
Yep.
Plus 650. All 3 of these teams are plus 700, 7 to 1. Ohio State, Texas, and Indiana. So just behind Notre Dame, but Notre Dame a slight favorite to win the national championship at FanDuel, and they are very early favorite over Wisconsin.
The most likely game to get moved to Sunday from the SEC is Louisville and Ole Miss. They're talking about maybe moving that to Sunday afternoon. I think Wisconsin Notre Dame is going to end up being prime time.
Is that a on campus in Oxford?
It is.
Do you know? Okay.
Nope, Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah, that could be a fun game.
Yeah. So neutral site Nashville for that one. Okay.
Yep.
And then finally, the only other game FanDuel has out right now is Ohio State at Texas, and that is a week 2 game. So it's a week 2 in Austin, Ohio State at Texas.
We have given up on the Thursday night being a big opening night after week 0 for week 1. Right now, games for Thursday night. And we may get some moved. There's talk of maybe moving Colorado at Georgia Tech to Thursday night. Akron, Wake Forest, Bethune-Cookman, UCF, Idaho at Utah, Eastern Illinois, Minnesota, UMass and Rutgers, Merrimack and Delaware, UA Albany and Buffalo.
Holy
that is all
crap.
that is scheduled on Thursday right now.
Terrible schedule.
Some open TV windows there.
Week 2, Ohio State at Texas. What you think?
Ohio State at Texas. Boy, this is going to be a small moment where you can find Ohio State as a dog.
Correct.
I think Texas is 2.5.
I was just going to say 1.
2.5. Total to 47.5. FanDuel has Texas at 2.5. You're right. You don't get Ohio State as a dog very often. You're going to get them as a road dog in Austin unless that one changes. Just some early point spreads. Not many of them out there, but I did find the most surprising one to me is Auburn 7.5 over Baylor. That's a big number on a neutral site. Of course, it's not going to be very neutral. There'll be a ton of Auburn fans there.
Tyler Booker joins us at the top of the hour. We'll talk to him about the Super Bowl, his rookie season with the Cowboys, and what he thinks of Kalen DeBoer moving forward. Ty Simpson, very outspoken about Kalen DeBoer. We'll tell you what he had to say about the Alabama coach, his coach in Tuscaloosa, right after LT tells us about our friends at Hemphill.
Hemphill Services, the name Birmingham has stressed since 1954. If you have any plumbing, heating, cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Ty Simpson, very outspoken about Kalen DeBoer over the weekend. You know, he's starting to do the draft process, but Nick Kelly did a wonderful interview with him. And you can see the whole interview at AL.com. But in that interview with Nick Kelly and Ty Simpson, he tells Alabama fans, quote, "Don't be a fan later. Everybody likes to criticize him now. Don't be a fan later. That dude is the exact person for the job. There's no doubt in my mind." That's Ty Simpson on Kalen DeBoer.
I saw an interview with Tim Keenan where he said some of the same type of stuff. So you got some of these players that have played under him that are obviously very aware of the criticism that DeBoer has received trying to follow Nick Saban. I think Keenum even went as far as saying, you try following Nick Saban and see how it goes, basically. You know?
I mean, nearly impossible feat. And, you know, from year 1 to year 2, there was improvement. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of Kalen DeBoer. I think you guys are as well. I thought the most interesting thing coming out of the Senior Bowl this weekend was Matt Miller for ESPN did his mock draft rounds 1 and 2 based on all of the discussion and, you know, what came out of the Senior Bowl. He doesn't have any Alabama players in the first round, and he said he's got Ty Simpson included in the second round. He said he did not speak to one front office executive that has a first-round grade on Ty Simpson.
Yikes.
Wow. That's just the opposite of what the CBS Sports guy said. He's got Ty going second pick of the Jets in the first round, 16th. And
I mean, I'm still going to find it hard to believe if he doesn't go in the first round. Do I think he's a first-round quarterback? No, but people always reach. I'm just going to read verbatim what he says.
I mean,
right
that
here.
would be one quarterback in the first round, probably.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, which is really, really, it's happened, but it is hard to believe.
He has got Simpson going 44th to the Jets. Can you imagine going in the second round to the Jets?
I know they passed on me twice in the first
Quote,
round.
Simpson doesn't have a round 1 grade on my board. I couldn't find a single team that would give him one during conversations at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, but if you're trying to steal a quarterback, right, if you're late in the first round, you're not going to tell anybody. I don't care if I'm friends with him.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell the guy
Yeah.
at the Senior Bowl, oh, yeah, if Simpson's available to us at 16 or at 15, we're going to take him.
This kid's bum. He can't play. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and you look, I mean, not that I would love it, but, you know, the Rams are drafting 29th. So they're one of those that have, you know, a back-end pick. I mean, the Browns 24th. Do the Browns draft another quarterback?
Got a bunch of them already.
And then the Steelers at 21. Yeah, I would be – it's going to be really, really difficult to imagine Mendoza goes 1 and we don't have another quarterback go the first day.
One more quote from Ty Simpson and Nick Kelly here to finish that up. You saw what he did in year 2. Imagine what he's going to do in year 3 and 4. That dude is a great leader of men. He's a great coach. He's a great motivator. There's no other coach I would play for besides my dad than Coach DeBoer. That from Ty Simpson on his exit from Alabama. Also, it says in that article he has no regrets at all. despite some grades that aren't coming out first round on his decision to leave Alabama and go to the NFL instead of taking the money and playing at a different school. He explains to Nick how he did not want that to be part of his legacy.
That's good. I'm glad. I mean, you would hope you could leave that situation and not have any regrets about doing it.
I mean, very refreshing that he even worries about that.
His buddy Tyler Booker joins us on the other side of the show. That's being brought to you today in part by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. LT, tell us about New York Butcher.
The New York Butcher Shop wants to remind you that this weekend, it's obviously Super Bowl Sunday coming up, and they want you to get the best of foods, and you can get it right there. Not only the great steaks, chicken, ribs, but how about their Super Bowl Boston butt sale? Available for pickup this coming Friday and Saturday. They're only $39.99 each. They're fully smoked, reservations only. The same with the smoked chicken wings, $11.99 a pound. You can get the reservations right here. Cobb Heights, 205-970-7300. Greystone, 205-703-8825. Make sure you tell Jim and that great staff of butchers, the guys from the next round sent you. One-stop dinner shop, rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now, it's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now, it's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We have a lot of students up here on Shadow Day from Vestavia High School. One thing they all agreed on is what a nice guy Tyler Booker is, one of their favorite Alabama players of all time.
Well, he is a nice guy. How about that?
I think he is too.
Oh, he's a
I
great
can't
guy.
believe you guys don't like Tyler Booker.
I love
Brownie.
me. Tyler knows I love him. What's up, Book? Welcome back. How are you, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How you guys been?
Been awesome. How about you?
I've been great, man. Just living the dream. Living the dream.
I hear you. Are you still in Dallas? Do you live out there in the off season, or you go elsewhere?
No, yeah, I live in Dallas during the off season, man. I spend way too much money on that house for me to not be in there all the time. So getting my money's worth right now.
So outside of the money, and money has gotten crazy in NIL, what was the best thing about being an NFL player your first year in Dallas?
Not having class and having to go to tutoring. That was definitely
It was already a full-time job, right? Now it's no second full-time job with the classroom.
Exactly, but all that time you spend on school, you got to spend on the playbook now. But I'd much rather learn about inside zone than quantum physics.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, they're talking about off season here. Are you really ever off? I know the calendar is more structured in the NFL than it was in college, but is there really an off season? Like, when is downtime for you? What does that look like?
So I took a week off, and I'm talked to my agent, talked to a bunch of people. They'd be like, all right, look, you need to take more time next year. But I was just sitting at home and I got way too bored. And I was like, man, I got to do something. So I just started back working out 2 weeks ago. And I've just been working out since. And I like staying ready so I don't have to get ready. So I don't have to do a whole big ramp up when OTAs start.
What would you grade yourself in year one as a rookie in the NFL? There's obviously a huge learning curve to play offensive line in the NFL. I get that. What grade did you give yourself?
I think I would give myself a B-. A B-, because I'm not going to sit here and look at you and tell you I played poorly. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of room for improvement. But what I can be most encouraged about with my performance this year is that I got better each and every game. So as long as I keep staying on that track throughout my career, I'll have everything that I want and then some.
Boy, I mean, you grade yourself hard. 14-game starter, first Cowboy rookie to be named to the Pro Football Writers Association all-rookie team since Tyler Smith in 2022. So I'm sure the Cowboys appreciate that, but you probably should have given yourself a B+ to an A-. With all that said, who was the most difficult, matchup for you in one certain week that you're like, damn, that guy's the real deal? Is there one guy that jumps out to you from this past season?
Well, playing in the division I play in, you're gonna face heavy hitters every week. Like having to play Jalen Carter this year, that was a really tough matchup. Having to play Dexter Lawrence was another really tough matchup. So those two are definitely some of the hardest I had to block. And then on their respective teams, there's other defensive tackles that are great on that team too. But like those are the two that really stick out to me. Is like, oh man, like you gotta bring your hard hat to work this week.
Of course, the first game you ever faced Jalen Carter, he got ejected before you even had to block him one play. That was a crazy moment. You were in your first NFL game. You were gonna have to go head to head with Carter a lot in that game, weren't you?
No, yeah, I was. So what he does, he predominantly plays on the right side, and I play right guard. So I know I was gonna have to see him the whole game, and it was kind of funny. It's like, man, I've been preparing months to play this guy, and I don't even get to play him until November now. But yeah, everything happens for a reason. He's a great competitor, and I'm looking forward to playing him again this coming year.
So we've always heard media people and some old players used to say this, that the closest thing to the NFL is the SEC. Now that you've played a one-year season in the NFL, do you feel like that's the case in talking to other players from the Big Ten and other conferences, that you guys maybe were a little bit more prepared for the speed and the physicality of the league?
100%. The physicality, that's something that I didn't have to adjust there. Like, that's me. That was bred to me by being in the SEC. Like you're not going to be able to be successful or have as much success as I did in the SEC without being physical, without being a dog. So that was already there. That was already instilled in me. Things that I had to work on, I had to adjust to, is just really the speed of the game and how fast certain stunts happen, and just really getting used to hearing the play calls in a different way and the different kinds of play calls. Those are things you have to get adjusted to. But as far as like going out there being a dog, the SEC definitely prepared me for that. Like the only time I've been overpowered in the game is one time, and that's Dexter Lawrence, and that, like, he's like, what, 6'7", 370, 375. You know what I mean? He's been doing this for a very long time. He's a big, strong guy. Like, other than him, I feel like pound for pound, like I feel like I was as stronger than everybody I played against this year. But like, that's just because I was in the SEC program for 3.5 years, and I stayed, I kept my head down, I worked, I didn't transfer. Like, I really built something there.
Tyler, back to tough grading. There was a national writer that did his grades for second-year coaches at different D1 programs. He gave Kalen DeBoer a C+. You played for Kalen in his first season, 9 wins, last team out of the college football playoff, 11 wins this year, playing for the SEC championship and winning a game in the college football playoffs. What was it like sitting back, watching your alma mater this year in year 2 under Kalen DeBoer, and did you see improvement from that team?
I definitely seen a lot of improvement from that team. I feel like resilience, I feel like that's where that team really improved, because last year, to be completely honest with you, I feel like we kind of earned the title of being front runners. Like, whenever we were up in the game, whenever we were winning, that's when we would dominate. But there were very few times where the team that I was on, my junior year, were able to come back from being down. I think that's definitely the reason why we were left out of the playoffs. And just like that Oklahoma winning the playoffs, being down 17, coming back and winning, like, that was huge to see that kind of resilience. And then having tough games like we did in South Carolina, and we were even down at one point in Athens, so like the resilience of that team, I feel like that's a testament to the culture, and I see that growing. I definitely see that growing. I know we didn't get the result that we wanted this year, but I'm very encouraged by what we did this past season.
As you know, and Tyler Booker is with us, the former Alabama great, now Dallas Cowboy. He is on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. As you know, because you played at Alabama, it is a very proud, fervent, but demanding fan base. You know that.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a lot of parallel to Cowboys fans, right? I mean, that is a fervent fan base, big fan base, but I mean, they're demanding. I would imagine it's a lot like the fan bases, to me, have always seemed a lot alike.
They are, and it's the fandom of both franchises are really insane, for lack of a better term. Like, how much people care. Like, it seems like as many fans as we have for our home games, there's that many, if not more, sometimes at our away games. Like, the Cowboys it's not just a national, it's not just a football brand, it's a national brand, it's a global brand. Like, even our cheerleaders have fans. You go to these signings that we do the day before the games, and the cheerleaders are there. The line for the cheerleaders are longer than the lines for, like, me and some of my other teammates. So it just goes to show you, like, the brand and how much attention that we get from the fans. And yeah, they are very demanding. And I definitely look forward to putting a smile on their face by bringing us a couple Super Bowls to Dallas in the near future.
These guys will joke, but I'm going to say, pretend I'm Jerry Jones for a second. Brown's going to say, you almost look like him.
You're close.
But I'm Jerry Jones. I'm going to sit down with you, Tyler, and I'm going to say, listen, the draft's coming up here in April. I'm going to ask you about four of your former teammates, and I want you to give me, Mr. Jones, a scouting report on what I would be getting if I late in the draft or whenever he's available, I choose Tim Keenan, first round, second round, third round, whenever he's available. Mm-hmm. What would I be getting with Tim Keenan if I drafted him for the Dallas Cowboys?
You'd be getting somebody that's you'd be getting a program changer. Tim Keenan is somebody that I learned a lot from my time at Bama. He's somebody like he's a brother of mine. He's somebody that I really looked up to when I was there. And then it's funny that you bring up TK. Like, he's training in Dallas, and he came over and had dinner with my family and I about 2 weeks ago. So, like, that just goes to show you the relationship that we have. But he's a dog. He's very committed. He made certain changes that he had to make in order to contribute more at Alabama. He's somebody that just got me better each and every day. And he taught me he was a big part of the reason why I learned why it's so important to compete during practice, because he and I would go at it all the time during practice. And whenever we were bringing it up, he and I'd be like, okay, I like what you did there with that hand, but you got to make sure you come underneath with it to get more leverage. And we were always just be coaching each other up. So he's definitely somebody that's going to change and enhance your program.
What is some team going to get with Deontay Lawson, you think?
A team is gonna get a natural born leader with D-Law. They're gonna get somebody he's not gonna be the most vocal, but he's gonna do everything he's supposed to. He's gonna be where he's supposed to be all the time, and then when he speaks, it's gonna mean something. Like me, like I'm a very vocal leader. Like I feel like I'm always talking. Like sometimes I gotta tell myself, all right, shut up now. But D-Law, like when D-Law speaks up, it means something. So he's somebody that's very, very mature, a great leader, a great football player, super smart, super intelligent, and another guy that's really just going to enhance the franchise.
A guy projected in the first round. He was on your left hip for a while, Caden Proctor.
Oh, man, that's my brother right there. That's somebody who's going to really unprecedented athleticism for his size. And I know he gets knocked for his size sometimes, but the way that he can move still and still play out in space and play tackle, like, is very, very impressive. Like people are saying, like, oh, he's going to move inside when he gets to the league. And, like, yeah, if that's where the team sees fit, but I definitely think he can be a lockdown tackle for 10 plus years in the NFL because of how much he cares and how much he loves the game of football. And somebody that I've grown with, and that's my brother. Like he came over with TK when we had dinner the other week. So somebody that's definitely going to change your program for the better. Somebody's going to push everybody in that room. Like he's a competitor. He hates to lose. And those are the kind of guys that you want in your locker room.
And finally, Ty Simpson, a guy who chose to go to the NFL draft. You've seen NFL quarterbacks now for a year. We've seen you come back and really celebrate with Ty in your time visiting Alabama now that you've left. What do you think Ty Simpson on the NFL level looks like?
And Ty's a pro's pro. He knows what it means to work hard. He knows what it means to really give his all to the game of football. Like there were times at Alabama where coaches would be like, hey, like you need to find something to do other than this. Like that's how committed Ty is to the game of football. Like it's almost a sick obsession, but that's what you want from your quarterback. And he's somebody that's always going to have your back. Always going to be somebody that you can laugh with, somebody that you can, somebody that's going to put their arm around you when you're having a tough day. But like he's always going to be there for you. Like that's one of my best friends in the world. Like I'm very glad that he is where he is, and I'm very excited to see where he ends up in April because he deserves it. Like in a day and age where it's so easy to get the money and go get the bag right now, come back and stay for another year. He's thinking about his legacy and how everything that he's done and been through would have been for nothing if he would have transferred. And it also doesn't hurt how he's going to be a first-round quarterback too. But the fact that it was a conversation was even funny to me. Like Ty's going to be a first-round quarterback. Like he and I had a conversation. He's not going to mind me sharing this. I'm like, he's like, bro, what do I do? I was like, bro, you stayed there for 4 years. You waited your turn. You had a great season, and then you're a first-round talent. Like, I think it's a no-brainer that you go and chase your dreams, man.
So you are young. You're only 21 years old. The three of us remember a time in college football where there were ties, which seems so ridiculous. But you actually experienced that this year with the Packers. I mean, what was it like? I mean, it was an incredible game to walk off the field 40-40 and, like, we just tied. Like, we just played all of this football to walk out of here with a tie. That had to be weird.
No, it was really weird, and that's when I was out with my ankle sprain. So just being able to watch that from the sideline, it was weird. It's like you didn't know how to feel about it because there were times in that game where we're playing really well and we just let them back into the game, and that's why you just always got to finish the team when they're down, you know. But and then it's like if you look back, like leaving that 1 second on the clock, like should it really have been a tie, you know? So it was crazy. I don't want to get into what ifs, but it was definitely a game I'll never forget.
I know as a team 7-9-1, not good enough. You want to be where these guys will be this weekend, playing in Super Bowl 60. What are your Super Bowl plans?
Our Super Bowl plans probably just going to be at home, kicking and watching it with the family. I was thinking about going, but it's way too expensive out there. So I'll stay in my house and kick it with the fam.
You get 2 tickets, right? Every player in the NFL gets tickets. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I still don't think I'm going to go, though.
Okay. Yeah. I was just pointing out the expensive part's the tickets. You've got those.
No, it's in California, man. I remember we were there for the Rose Bowl, and gas, like I was just looking around on the way to the practice field. Gas was like $5.50. I'm like, what? Like if gas costs that much, how much is food gonna be? So
yeah.
And then it's like I'm the kind of competitor, like, man, I should be out there. I wouldn't even be able to enjoy myself if I was there.
Well, that's what some people say. They don't want to go until they're playing
that's
in
right.
one. That is superstitious.
Exactly.
But your buddy Jalen Milrose there, did you guys have like a like a side bet on who would win a Super Bowl or make it to a Super Bowl first or anything?
No, we haven't we haven't spoken about that. But Jay Miller and I talk a lot. The last time I seen him was at the SEC championship. He was telling me, he said, "Man, I think we really got a shot to go ahead and make it." Yeah. It's crazy that he's there now. I'm definitely rooting for them on that side.
Yeah. Hey, before you go, I know you need to get out of here. Alabama lost a legend in Eddie Conyers, and I saw you say some kind words about Eddie. Can you give us a funny Eddie Conyers story?
Oh man, so I remember when this was his first season. So this was the year before last, and he was our not tied teammate, but we highlighted a person within a program every single week. And Eddie was just so happy to be in the circle, man. He just going on about the history, how long he's been at Alabama, how long he's seen, and just being able to hear that and be around him and being his president, like everybody's been around everything that he's seen since he's been at Alabama. It was great. And at the end of his speech, threw a flag down and we all laughed. So I'm very glad to be able to have known him and had a relationship with him.
Yeah, he was one-on-one. Eddie Conyers was definitely a legend. So cool story there. All right, Book, always good catching up with you, man. We appreciate you making some time for us. Have a good non-off season, and we only want the best for you and the Cowboys next year.
Yes, sir, of course.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
All right, buddy. Good seeing you again.
Roll Tide.
That is, he'll never lose that one.
That's awesome.
That is Alabama legend Tyler Booker with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
How many first-round picks are worried at 21 years old about spending a little extra cash going to Santa Clara?
I know. It says a lot. It says a lot about Book.
Yeah, but see, you get spoiled driving around Texas at what the gas price is in Texas.
Where they have the oil.
Yeah. Where you can go out and kick a rock and oil comes out of the ground.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It is. I mean, it is sticker shock. Like when I was out for the Rose Bowl, we had a rental, and I was the one that had to take it back to the airport, so I had to top her off at the end. And I'm like, Dad, gum, what I'm about to pay for a gallon of gas out here.
When I was at Oklahoma, I always, when I was on the shuttle to the off the rental, we pass a gas station, and then we walk in. And they've got what they're going to charge you, and it was 7 cents less per gallon they were charging me at the rental place than it was at the gas station place we passed.
Oh, really?
So I said, you guys just fill it up.
Yeah,
because it was like $2.53 a gallon at the rental place, and I was like,
so if you turn it in on empty, they just charge you $2.53 a gallon.
Yeah, they had it listed. On the
they
counter.
tell you.
Yeah, but that's a smart business plan.
$2.53 a gallon.
So they're undercutting the market.
I was thinking to myself, $2.53 a gallon. I'm going to find better than $2.53 a gallon.
Y'all fill it up.
I'm all in on that. Y'all fill it up. All right. Show being brought to you by one of our great new sponsors, Hoover Toyota. I was out by Saturday just to say hi to the guys and met Harold, who I think got you in a new car.
Look, Harold, I've been working with Harold for over a year now. I went and got Layton for Christmas of 2024. I got her a new RAV, and she couldn't be more excited. I wanted reliable, I wanted safe, I wanted something that holds its value. That is a Toyota overall. She still loves her car 14 months later. Back in October, you guys know this, I went out and got a Land Cruiser, got it from our buddy Harold. I mean, from Harold in sales to Kim in finance, the general manager, Scott Peoples, great people. Hoover Toyota, new Toyota and used car dealer in Hoover, also serving Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia with new and used car financing, auto service, and genuine Toyota parts. They've been perfecting the art of customer service for over 20 years now. Their inventory offers the fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department provides affordable financing options. Even after the keys to your new vehicle are in your hands, they are there to serve you with service and parts departments committed to keeping your vehicle running smoothly. When you shop with our friends at Hoover Toyota, they want to keep you as a customer for life. That's why they offer the Red Carpet program and give you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience with their referral program. Go to hoovertoyota.com for more information. Right now, 1.99% APR on Tundras, Tacomas, Camry, lease specials on most models. Get in, see our friends at Hoover Toyota, and make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you.
Yeah, terrific customer service out there. The great folks there. All right, back to basketball this weekend. We talked in the whole first segment, Apple and Spotify podcasts on our YouTube channel and on TNR Clips also on YouTube. Go like, subscribe, and follow at all those. First hour, we talked all about Tennessee outlasting Auburn and about Florida dominating Alabama. One subject that Nate Oates, even down in Gainesville, gets asked about is Charles Bediako being back, and this is why I continue to say this is it's not only just a target, it's a cross that Alabama's bearing, sort of changing the landscape of how they do things in college athletics. Now there's a guy named Amari Bailey who actually played in games with the Charlotte Hornets. And he has referenced, his legal team has referenced Bediako now, and he's trying to come back to college basketball. Your thoughts on that in a second, but Nate Oates gets asked about that and about whether the Bediako case and others are starting to maybe cross a line when it comes to eligibility.
There's a player that's played 10 games in the NBA now that's trying to get eligibility. Are you concerned about the slippery slope that could lead to?
I think everybody should probably be concerned with that, but they need to draw a line, and I think Charles people thought that the line shouldn't have been drawn on that's going to favor all the internationals and not, allow the Americans to be able to make the money, and I think that's kind of what they thought the line should be drawn somewhere else, but it's, some people would argue that Charles has a better case to be eligible than some other guys playing in college basketball right now based on what it is. So I go way back when. I'm not sure that I was necessarily pro any professionals playing, but that's where we've gone down. So if you're going to go down and your former player, wants to get eligible and judge rules him eligible, and we're going to play him. So, I think we all should be concerned with it, and they need to come up with a set of rules that everybody agrees on and can follow, and judges, the U.S. court system needs to probably agree on them too, otherwise they're going to get taken to court.
All I would say is, and I have had this stance all along, and this has got nothing. Bediako's the reason we talk about it, but I would like to think I've got this stance whether it involved Bediako or not, because when the kid at Baylor that doesn't really do anything for them came in, I had this same stance then. If you're going to allow pros to play, I just don't know legally how you draw the line. These pros can, these pros can't. And I get what everybody said. Look, the NCAA coaches, athletics directors, school presidents, conference commissioners, the majority of those agreed that we're going to let the European pros play but not the American. That's fine, but be ready that when it goes to a court could say, yeah, you can't draw the line right there. Not legally, you can't draw the line right there, and that's what's happened here.
I sent it to you guys. I don't think we have the cut, but Bruce Pearl on Outkick.
Very interesting sound.
Yeah. I as I watched it and sent it to you guys so we could talk about it, Bruce Pearl believes, and correct me if I'm wrong, he thinks that the NCAA should look at Alabama not being eligible.
Yep.
For the NCAA
Well,
tournament.
look, if the NCAA wants to make any kind of stand, then he didn't take this angle because everybody is talking about there is no teeth when it comes to the NCAA. The one stand they could possibly make is this Alabama team is not eligible.
It goes directly against one of the things that is spelled out in the TRO. So if the NCAA does that, they got to buckle up and get ready for that to get immediately challenged. Like if they were to announce, we're not going to consider Alabama, the first thing Alabama does is go to a court of law and say, now, wait a minute. This TRO says in point, I think it's point number 3, that the NCAA cannot penalize player, coach, team, institution for any games that Bediako plays. So if that's in a TRO, how can the NCAA say we can't go? And then it would be up to a judge to say, you know what, that's right. And I'm sure the NCAA would have their judge. This would get very, very messy very quickly. Alabama wouldn't wait on this. This would be immediate.
Bruce brought up, his suspension, and the way he sold it was, and again, you saw the soundbite.
Yep.
Tell me if I'm misrepresenting this. He was like, basically, I had a couple of guys over and fed them some food and lied about it, and I got kicked out of the game. Give them a $10 million contract.
Yeah, I think it was a $12 million contract. I had a couple of guys over. I shouldn't have done it, but that was the rule, and, I had to live with that.
But he did say,
and by the way, he did set this up because I think this is kind of important because immediately people are going to gravitate to the Auburn coach talking about Alabama. He said it off the jump. He was like, I know people are going to take this the wrong way, or, I'm paraphrasing here, because I'm the former Auburn coach and this is Alabama, but I would be saying this about any of these situations.
Yeah, he was with Dan Dockich, and he pointed out, Dan, you can't comment on Purdue. Anything you say about Purdue is going to be viewed from
Which is
Indiana.
true.
Yeah. But Bruce did even say in that, could I go to a judge and sue to get my job back? Which I thought was interesting. He said, I paid a price for penalties. I didn't go to a judge. I bet
he went to an attorney.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he could have gone to a judge, and gotten his job back in that situation. I really don't think that's the way that would have worked. I don't think.
Well, I think he could have filed an injunction to keep coaching.
I don't know if he could have gotten that though.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to. Yeah. I mean, again, it would have to be a judge that looked at it and said somehow his rights were violated, right? And I mean,
this should tell you something's wrong with college athletics right now, though. When guys, like you mentioned, Amari Bailey, who's trying to go back, he was selected in the second round in the 2022 draft, and he got a contract for more than $500,000, and now he wants to go back because you're making more money in college basketball than you can make in the G League or some of these other professional leagues.
Yeah, and the difference is that, the difference between Njai, who was drafted in the first round, the Baylor player.
He was only 10 picks after Njai.
He never signed a NBA contract, apparently, which I don't understand how that's possible. He's the 31st pick, but Bediako had a two-way contract, never played in a game in the NBA, never once played in an NBA game. Now we got a guy who's saying, wait, I should be eligible. I actually played in 10 NBA games. Now, it was with the Charlotte Hornets. You can debate whether that's an NBA team or not. But he actually played in 10 games. Bruce's comments come on a week where we're going to get Alabama and Auburn on Saturday. And if you watch the broadcast yesterday, they brought up all the Todd Golden on the Gator Talk show and Nate saying 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds in the lane. And then they brought all that up during the broadcast. It would not surprise me if Bruce's outkick soundbite ends up making it into the broadcast this weekend, or at least to the pregame. By the way, it's Tyler, do you have that? I think it'll be cut 11. See if you have cut 11. I want people to hear it.
Should have it in just a second.
Okay, well, just real quick, while we wait on cut 11. So this is going to be Bruce talking to Dan Dockich. Is that what we're doing here? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Did we see, because one thing that jumps out at me yesterday, I assume you guys think the difference between Condon Chinaloo, and Bediako is an actual NBA player versus a G League player. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Because there was a difference there, right?
In skill, not in what their past.
Not their past. I'm talking like, I guess I should have said Condon and Chinaloo will be in the NBA.
Yeah,
you think both?
and Hauk, all three of those guys, for sure.
And Bediako obviously was not good enough to make it in the NBA. I think that was pretty well established. He was going to be a G Leaguer for life, maybe goes up and sits a bench for a 10-day contract with an injury or something. But I guess the point I was making is you saw NBA talent yesterday versus almost NBA talent. And there was a pretty stark difference, wasn't there? I mean, don't you think?
I mean, yeah.
There was. I mean, it wasn't, there are other things going on. There's a wave of guys running past Bediako. I mean, they had multiple big guys down low that could fly up and down the court.
Yeah, but all of them NBA talent is my point. And Bediako obviously is not NBA talent. There's no shot at him. It's just that's been proven. He's not going to play in the NBA.
He was having to battle, a lot of different. You don't have to worry about one guy if he was playing in the NBA, because there would be other NBA talent around him to guard the other guys. He was having to swap flies yesterday against Florida, but they really got after him in that contest.
Yeah,
it was. I just thought it was interesting that this all happens on a week that we're also going to get an Alabama-Auburn game on Saturday down at Neville Arena. It's a storyline that'll end up being part of that backdrop when those two teams meet again.
I will say, if there is any, now Auburn's got an advantage of having the midweek bye. I guess that's what you would want coming off a loss at Tennessee. I guess you would want the midweek bye. Alabama's got to play another game against Texas A&M, which obviously is going to be a really difficult game. That's the team that leads the SEC right now. I would say if there is an advantage for Alabama, the first road game not being at Auburn, probably no. You didn't probably want it at Florida. But your first road game in this situation at Auburn probably would not have been what Nate OAts would have wanted. So at least it's not your first trip on the road. You know what to expect.
Well, you heard the G League dropout that we played earlier.
It's going to probably get worse than that at Auburn.
It will get worse than that at Neville. Now, if you're Alabama, you hope it continues all year, because that means at least he's relevant.
Yeah.
If the Bediako chants go away, then that's when it's become a big problem.
Alabama has a better chance to walk away from Neville with a win than they did the O-Dome.
Yeah, I think everybody, and I know Forrester was on this on the front end a couple of weeks ago, but I mean, this is by far the best team in the SEC, the Florida Gators.
From the Dan Dockich, don't at me, is the name of the show on Outkick. Here's Bruce Pearl talking to Dan about Charles Bediako being allowed to play.
Should they even consider banning Alabama from the tournament for playing this kid?
Well, I think they should consider it. I think it's something that should be talked about. And look, Dan, as you know, like anything that you would say about that would be at all critical, it doesn't matter how much you love Matt Painter, or it doesn't matter how much I respect Nate Oates. I'm the Auburn coach, so what I'm saying about Alabama must be something personal, and let's just take that right off the table. This has nothing to do with Auburn and Alabama's rivalry, okay? Well, here's what I don't like, all right? I lost my job, okay, because I had some kids over the house that had committed to me as juniors, and I had them over the house, and I shouldn't have, and I fed them, and I didn't tell the truth about it. I lost an $11 million contract, and I almost got knocked out of coaching. Now, if I'd have gone to court, do you think that the courts would have said, geez, you've got this whole career, you've done all this. That's a big penalty. I'm not so sure I couldn't get an injunction and win that. Okay, but I broke the rules. This is what the rules were. I made a mistake. It cost me. All right. And okay, so the NCAA, Alabama went and said, hey, we want to get Bediako eligible. We think there's some argument about the fact that he's being treated differently as an American that played professionally versus European kids. It's a good argument to have, but the NCAA said no. They said no, he's not eligible. You guys are part of the SEC. You're part of the NCAA. You guys choose to be here. Therefore, you choose to play by our rules. And so when we don't like the ruling, what do? We go to court and get an injunction.
If you want to make that an apples to apples, Lance, I think the way to make it an apples to apples comparison would be if other guys that had gotten in trouble by the NCAA and lost their job, the NCAA would have said, well, you can have your job back, but not Bruce. To me, that makes it more apples to apples. And then maybe Bruce could go to an attorney, to go to a judge and say, now, wait 1 minute. How do these guys do what I don't get to?
I like Bruce a lot. I mean, I disagree with – I don't think he's being transparent. Like, if he could have gotten his job back with a court injunction, he would have gotten his job back. Yeah. I mean, there is no way that he didn't have representation trying to figure out every avenue of keeping that $11 million contract.
That's right, yeah. Now, could he have gotten the show cause lifted? Maybe. I mean, he did sit through a show cause, most of it, before Auburn hired him back. I mean, because that's what Jeremy Pruitt has tried to do. I mean, Jeremy Pruitt's an excellent example. I mean, look at Jeremy Pruitt. He's been in the coaching. Well, my gosh, he was an assistant coach at Plainview High School while he's sitting out a show cause. And, just recently got back in it as an analyst at Jacksonville State. So, I mean, those guys, and Jeremy Pruitt filed a big lawsuit against the University of Tennessee and the NCAA, or I guess against really the NCAA to try to do that.
It'll be interesting to see how both Nate Oates and Stephen Pearl handle the lead up to this game. Obviously, Todd Golden chose to be fiery and throw some shots pre-game at Nate, and Nate, answered back, trying to work the officials, I think, with the 6, the 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, and then Golden, his team backed it up. It'll be interesting to see how
he knew. He knew. He did. He knew they matched up well.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how Stephen plays this with Bediako and Alabama coming to town, because you also want to motivate your guys too. And I thought Golden did a good job of using this as motivation for Alabama coming to town. There's a lot to get motivated about in the Auburn-Alabama game when they play each other. We'll see if this becomes another fiery talking point this week.
And how do you feel? Like, I think Alabama's going to get better. I do. Like, I don't know if they're ever going to be in the Florida realm, but I do think Bama with Bediako will get better. So I don't think there's going to be a point where Nate is regretting this. Just my opinion.
So you don't think right now we're not at that point right now?
The Tennessee loss was weird, but Tennessee is peaking right now a little bit. I mean,
and you were down 2 players for that one. I think that one was a little more understandable.
Yeah, and look, and Florida is by far the best team, and you were on the road there. Now, look, you got to show something this week.
Well,
Texas A&M on Wednesday, first place Texas A&M 7-1, but they are not physically imposing on the inside like Florida or Tennessee.
They don't play a style that gives Alabama normally trouble.
But how many minutes is Bediako going to be able to log? Like, is he in that kind of game shape?
This isn't a Bediako game.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this is not. They don't need Bediako to have a chance to beat Texas A&M.
Right.
No, you go small against them,
Yeah.
right? Small and fast and ball handlers.
They need Bediako to have a chance to beat Auburn.
But
they needed him against Florida. They needed him against Tennessee. They'll need him if they make it to the tournament and face Arizona again, or if they face Michigan. You can start naming teams they'll need him against. Duke.
I would say this: Alabama a much more talented roster than Texas A&M. But the way you can kind of, your advantage really is your size, though. I mean, we're talking about the smallest team right now in Division I.
Oh, that's right. I see
Is
what you're
Texas
saying,
A&M.
yeah.
So, do we figure something out where Sherrell and Bediako can be factors on both ends of the court?
I see what you're saying.
Well, the problem is you got to get it across midcourt against them. And how much do those guys help you get it across? I mean, they can dribble. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
They can
that's
catch
what
and throw. Yeah,
I'm just saying A&M, they're going to press you from the jump. And
Well, Taylor Boboan is one of those guys that, has got handle, but, played 2 minutes. We talked about whose minutes are going to be taken away with Bediako coming in.
Well,
I think that's been answered,
Boy, you got Texas A&M and Buckyball coming off a game where you had 13 steals and 18 turnovers.
That's scary.
Yeah. All right. One more segment to go on the show today, being brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. That includes our friends at Inverness Country Club, LT. Before you tell us about Inverness, let me tell everybody this hour of the show brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew. The chicken is brined overnight. It is cooked to order, hand-cut chicken fingers as well. The in-house made sides, the in-house made desserts, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and everything else you get. Great bar and happy hour every day. It's all at Champy's Chicken and Inverness Country Club.
Yeah, we talk about they've got memberships that fit everyone. We were having lunch with friends. They were going to the Masquerade Ball on Saturday night at the Inverness Country Club. Again, great social scene. The golf is fantastic. Newly renovated clubhouse and dining, fitness center, and soon to be that resort-style pool coming this summer once the weather heats up. Childcare is also a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid and go have yourself a day on the court or course. Best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour of the unbelievable club, call Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Big game right around the corner, and you're looking to entertain, and you've got to have the great food. You can do it from our friends at the New York Butcher Shop. A couple of great options. The smoked chicken wings, $11.99 a pound, available Saturdays afternoon. Quantities are limited, so reservations by Thursday suggested. Also, the Super Bowl Boston Butt Sale, $39.99, reservations only, completely smoked from Jim and that great staff of butchers at the New York Butcher Shop. Two great locations for you, the original Caba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service, the New York Butcher Shop.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Olympics start on Friday with opening ceremonies. The NHL players are playing in that, and I don't know if we have any other professionals that are playing there. Our Michelson NFL look. Mike LaFleur is the new Cardinals coach. Is he kin to Matt LaFleur?
Oh, yeah.
Brothers?
Yep.
How about that?
That's another...
Both off the McVay tree.
Another McVay tree guy.
And then Las Vegas, the Raiders hire Clint Kubiak, who is a offensive and quarterback guru, and they're going to be getting Fernando Mendoza with the first overall pick.
What a year in Seattle, from firing your offensive coordinator to your offensive coordinator getting a head coaching job and you playing in the Super Bowl.
Boy, he is betting his future on Mendoza being an NFL quarterback. I find that interesting.
I mean, it's hard not to take a job if you're Clint Kubiak.
I guess so. I mean, the Raiders, that has not been a good job to have of late. But you do have the first pick, and you know who it's going to be. So I presume Clint Kubiak watched a ton of Fernando Mendoza before he said yes, and was like, okay, I can win with this kid.
And Tom Brady's very hands-on with the organization now. Central State Bank bringing you that NFL look right there. They get you ready for the Super Bowl.
If you're ready for a bank that actually gets you, it is Central State Bank. More than accounts and transactions, they are about people. 6 locations across Central Alabama, Shelby County, Alexander City, places like that. They are right where you need them to be. Whether you're running a business, buying your dream car, just want a bank that remembers your name, they have got you covered. For more than 100 years, building trust by staying to what matters the most. Personal service, local decisions, lasting relationships. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
All right, A&M beat Georgia. They're in first place, 7-1. Going into the month, the AP poll comes out here in just a second. They will be in the top 25. Alabama will be out.
Yeah, I thought last week they might get a look. But, yeah, as you said, 1,000% they're in this week.
Vandy beat Ole Miss. They corrected the ship. Sean Miller got his 500th career win. Texas beat Oklahoma. And Kentucky beat Arkansas in Fayetteville despite 3 technical fouls in 38 seconds.
Well, I think the third one was Pope trying to make a point of getting his. The second one, which I believe went against Diabate, if I'm not mistaken, he blocks a shot and he's just yelling like to the crowd. I mean, and it's not even like extended. And Doug Schall's, and it's a shame I know the official's name, but they said it on the broadcast, tees him right up, and then gives Mark Pope his tee as well. You know what I think's at play here? I think, this is the time of year where these officials, they've been on the road every single night since early November. They're tired. They're irritable. Travel sucks right now because of this ice storm. How tough was it to get to Fayetteville, Arkansas? It was probably miserable to get to Fayetteville with that going on. I just think you got bad mood refs right now, and they got a quick trigger.
Yeah, that was crazy. Mark Pope, though, his team's winning some basketball games. And here's Mark Pope about this being a unique team to coach this year.
I think we're an SMH team right now. Shake my head a little bit in a beautiful way. Like I love is that too old? That was like 10 years ago. Sorry.
That's like 10 years ago.
Blame that on the Pope girls. They're supposed to keep me more up to date. But I love it, and these guys they just continue to inspire, man. They're just like, heap it on, like heap on the hate and heat and all the other stuff, and these guys keep answering the bell, and it's pretty fun to be a part of, man. It is awesome. It's awesome, and in that sense, we'll see. I think we have a great future this season, and I think we're going to win a lot of games and have an epic run, and maybe the story about this team is going to be even more important than that with what they're doing right now. It's pretty awesome.
Interesting. Kansas and Texas Tech tonight, headlining a pretty good basketball night on a Monday night.
Kansas stormed BYU to start that game. I mean, BYU had no idea why hit them.
We got to play up on that one, too.
Yeah.
You can do that at lanceslock.com. Michelson brings us trash today. Tell us about Michelson Laser Vision.
Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama back in 1995. I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Teller. The next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation, 0 to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com. But you guys have sharded, right?
I have. Yes, absolutely. Every man's done
that could be it.
I think you're reading way too much into this.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Did either one of you guys or Tyler watch Skyscraper Live with Alex Honnold, the guy that scaled 100 and
So that was a
floors.
Friday night, is that right?
They moved it because of weather.
Okay. Whatever night it was.
It was Saturday night. It moved to Sunday.
Yeah.
Ended up being over the weekend, and I did not watch it. I know I thought I had it on Friday, that he made it on Friday.
Yeah.
On Friday's show.
I can't remember when it was, but whenever it was, we opened Netflix to watch something, and that was one of the suggested things. But it was just starting, and I'm like, well, you don't want to watch the start. Yeah. And if anything, you want to jump in midway or the end.
Was it 12 hours it took him to do it?
No, hour and a half. Jack and Layton watched it. They were telling me about it.
10-second delay, by the way. That was our biggest question
well,
all along.
The reason I was going to bring this up, I didn't realize L. Duncan was the one that hosted it. So on Saturday, January 24th, she told Awful Announcing that someone on the crew handed her a note card and what to do if Honnold fell and died during the climb of the 101-story skyscraper.
I go to the note card if he dies? Okay, thank you.
Quote, there's something to be said when 5 minutes before you go on air, someone slides you a card and what you've got to say if a person falls off the building and dies. That was certainly not an experience I had had before. Now, Netflix aired the attempt on the 10-second delay, as you said. She said, quote, on my card, I had my lap. It was basically, we've experienced a fall. We're going to get off the air now, and we will update you as soon as we can on Alex's condition. I think we know what the condition would have been, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't they think I'm going to need an update on that one? Okay. Yeah, 10-second delay.
We've experienced a fall. That would have been an iconic moment in broadcasting history.
Right there on Netflix.
I asked,
so how long do you think it was? Only 90 minutes?
It was only like 90 minutes. I mean, Layton said it was crazy. He had a little chalk on his bag just for a little grip. But, I mean, that was it. She's like, he was just freaking scaling it.
It did look like it was almost the way the building was built. It was almost like stairs that he was climbing.
Nothing impresses this guy.
No, but I went Dunaway. I watched it, too, and I'm like, I mean, there are tougher buildings to climb.
101 stories
but
with nothing.
Have you seen the way the building's built?
No.
I'm with Jim. It was almost built to climb. Pull the building up, Tyler. Let Lance look at it. I mean, Jim is not wrong.
Okay,
about
so
this.
let me ask you guys this. What would it cost you to
not gonna
walk
try.
101 flight of stairs where you've got a free fall on either side and no railing?
I couldn't do it. My hands sweat just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But to see, I think it's that, is it?
I mean, that's all the same building.
Okay, but see.
But you're not going to get a tight shot
Yeah, it's easy to see how you got the little ledges. It's like you got rest areas all on the way. He's got places he can stop.
Here we go. This is him climbing up.
Oh,
right here.
that looks...
No, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm with Jim. Like, there's a lot of stuff to grab onto right there.
My gosh.
The windows?
No, those gutters. The one Scott showed.
Gutters.
You can't tell that Chris Stewart has capped it so you don't snap it right there. No, there's more to grab onto than it looks like that one.
And early on, it looked like he was just walking upstairs early on.
I don't know what the ratings were like, but until somebody falls, I mean, you're really not going to get the ratings you could achieve.
You're correct on that, yes.
So I'm sure you guys saw this over the weekend. Heavyweight boxer Jarrell Big Baby Miller went viral
this will make it.
on January 31st after a punch from Kingsley Ibu knocked his hairpiece off during a fight at Madison Square Garden. Now, Miller, longtime heavyweight contender, was making his return to MSG after a lengthy absence. The bout marked his first appearance at the venue since a planned 2019 title fight with Anthony Joshua that was canceled following failed drug test. Now, midway through round two, right uppercut caused Miller's hair place to lift and flap loose, revealing a bald spot. Miller
Staged, by the way, in my opinion.
Oh, you think this is staged?
Yeah.
There is no way this was staged.
I mean, does this make anybody's newscast or Sports Center or anything all week long?
Good point. Yeah,
without
no,
this
but
happening.
What is this guy trying to get out of it?
He probably got money.
I mean, he got paid to do it. This is the undercard. And, I mean, I know it was a big fight coming up, but this was the undercard.
Okay, but do you know what he blamed this on? Like, is this even believable? After the fight, he addressed the situation. He claimed he lost his natural hair just 2 days earlier after accidentally using ammonium bleach instead of shampoo while staying at his mother's house.
It's so believable because who doesn't have ammonium bleach in their shower? Is that the conditioner, the shampoo, or the ammonium bleach?
I mean, don't you smell it right when you put it in your hand?
Yeah. You open the bottle, you smell ammonium bleach. That's two distinct smells together.
Yeah.
He did earn a split decision victory.
Yeah. When I saw the toupee flop up in all the videos, I was like,
he got scalped.
I mean,
was like, come on now. How's that going to happen?
Yeah, the ammonium bleach took it off right there, but it left a nice little rim.
Looks like LeBron now.
To make the toupee look a little more normal.
Yep. How are the Padres during this offseason?
I'm serious, man. Just go bald. That's not a bad look for him, bald.
No. Florida man Alexander DePue apparently thought he could buy his way into a dancer's heart using Hollywood magic. Police say 32-year-old transient spent $300 in, quote, movie prop money at a Clearwater florist to secure a romantic spread of chocolates and flowers for a woman at the Oasis Cabaret. Now, DePue allegedly handed over 15 counterfeit $20 bills to cover a $288 tab. It wasn't until he left that the florist noticed the bills were clearly marked as replica and not legal tender. Now, the romantic gesture quickly wilted when DePue headed to the Full Contact Adult Club, tried to pay his bar tab with more of the same phony cash. Staff at the cabaret weren't falling for the act, promptly called the authorities. When police arrived, they found another $400 in fake bills in his pockets.
I'm sorry that you're going to have to spend 2 minutes in the champagne room for targeting.
Full Contact.
They also found real cocaine and meth on him. Not fake there.
Yeah.
He's a little bit trouble.
Do they have a bigger problem in places like Las Vegas and California with that kind of money, that kind of counterfeit money, because more movies are shot out west? And
I don't know.
Well, I think it says on there movie prop. I mean, it's got it on there. At least people that are doing counterfeit are trying to make it look exactly alike.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks alike, but it says on there movie prop, not legal tender.
Yeah, but it looks so real.
Right,
if you don't notice that, if you're at a street vendor and it's one of these events that's completely packed, you probably could pass that over.
Well, that's a bush
or
league
if
way
you're
to
in
do it.
a pitch black full contact club,
Right.
whatever that means.
Yeah, Full Contact Club. I mean, it said it like it was 80s Eastern Conference Finals.
I guarantee you, whoever's swinging from the pole takes it, puts it in the garter, and never thinks about it until later on.
That's right. And, bad news for her when she gets home and starts counting, huh?
This is very unique. A man has gone viral after hiring 2 professional climbing instructors to scale the inside of his own home to retrieve a forgotten passport. Now, as shown in the Instagram post, the homeowner's townhouse mid-renovation had no stairs installed, leaving the upper floors completely inaccessible. Now, the problem became urgent when he realized his passport was locked in a safe several floors up, just days before an overseas cruise. With no other way to reach it, the man turned to Craigslist, posted a job, asking for professional climbers to help retrieve the document. Fortunately, 2 climbers answered the call, arriving fully equipped to turn the unfinished house into an indoor climbing route. Now, the man explained how the situation unfolded, revealing the mistake that led to the unusual rescue and nearly cost him his holiday. Quote, like an idiot, forgot my passport before I removed the stairs from my townhouse. So I'm going out of the country for a cruise to the Caribbean, and obviously I can't travel without my passport. My wife is upset, so I hired a couple of professional climbing instructors to retrieve the passport a couple of floors up. Now, the viral video showed the instructors rigging an anchor at the front stairwell before climbing upwards through the interior of the property. To stay secure during the climb, they placed anchor points on radiators and windows as they moved between floors.
Well, they just needed the guy from Netflix.
They didn't need any of that stuff.
That's all we need.
Now, when they reached the bedroom, the climber collected the man's backpack, an overnight bag, an international driver's license, and even a few dresses belonging to the homeowner's wife before making the descent. What do you think he paid these 2 guys for doing all this?
$500 apiece.
I was going to say $250.
$150 combined.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
I think I would have negotiated that price on the front end.
Well,
though.
maybe they get a little kick out of doing it. Because I remember when I lived on the billboard, the rappellers and mountain climbers that were my safety team, they did it for free just so they could climb up and keep rappelling down off of that 82-foot billboard.
So they were having fun doing it. Yeah.
They got it okay for them to climb up and however rappel down, that they enjoyed it so much they did it for free.
Wow.
Finally, new retirement home in Malaysia, but not for seniors, built for stressed out young adults. Malaysia's first youth retirement home just opened in Gopeng, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a month-long escape from capitalism, hustle culture, and the concept of having goals. For roughly $430 US dollars, young adults can move into a quiet, nature-filled compound and do what most of us only talk about doing, absolutely nothing. Now, the retreat sits on 8 acres of land, includes accommodation, 3 meals a day, and a front row seat to ducks wandering around like they have nowhere to be. There are no schedules, no workshops, no KPIs, no 9-to-5s. You sleep until you wake up naturally, eat home-cooked food, plant vegetables if the mood strikes, or spend an afternoon doing a rare activity known as daydreaming. Now, the philosophy behind it is all Tang Ping, a Chinese social movement that translates to lying flat. It's a quiet rebellion against the idea that life has to be an endless grind of career milestones and economic anxiety. Instead of climbing ladders, Tang Ping says just maybe lie down for a bit.
$630 a month to not work is basically what they're doing right there, right? Is that what?
Did we do it in trash? Is it New Zealand that took away all of the under the age of 16, all the smartphones and everything away from the teenagers in that country?
I don't remember that story.
And apparently 1 year later,
they banned social media for people under the age of 16.
Okay, banned
Something
social
like
media.
that.
And apparently a year later now, anxiety's down, stress is down, mental health is better, all that stuff.
There's probably some benefit to it.
So I am not saying that this is the best option, but like, could you go there and live forever?
$630 a month.
$630 a month.
As long as the money never runs out.
I mean, $7,000. I mean, a lot of people could retire and just go hang out there and have your meals and no utilities.
Befriend animals. That's what it says right there. I could befriend animals.
Probably not a lot of go-getters there.
Probably no.
Yeah. $630 a month though. That's a good
Yeah,
rate.
It's not bad rent.
Or
Yeah.
it's filled with go-getters, like people who made just a ton of money in like crypto and all that stuff. And now they're like, I don't know what to do now.
I want to befriend animals. Where
Yeah,
can I do
I'm
that
just
for
gonna
$630 a month?
befriend animals.
No,
and
if
do some
that's
gardening activities.
that's the case, go for a couple of months and get you a group. You could start a major
cult
religion.
Well, yeah, you probably could. Yeah, I mean,
Either way, it works.
I mean, was it L. Ron Hubbard that said if you want to get rich, start a religion?
Yeah.
Hey, not to get too personal, befriend animals. You've got raccoons at your place. Are you paying more than $630 a month?
Unfortunately, I am.
Are your meals included at your place?
They are not.
This is.
I don't have any gardening activities either.
It's a different commute for you, but there you go.
Hey, bracket challenge.
What? Live at
Somebody's
this
got to
joint?
go live there for a couple of weeks.
I got to befriend some animals.
Yeah. What country is this in again? Taipei.
This is in Malaysia.
Malaysia,
So this
yeah.
isn't exactly bracket punishment worthy.
Depends on if the company's paying for the flight or not.
Yeah. Yeah. And the quality of the hotel and flight would depend on whether who wins it and loses it.
Usually the way that works.
All right, that is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. They bring you the show, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew. Great home-cooked style meals right there, in-house made sides and dessert. Those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, a little flavor to them, a little kick to them, a little heat to them. They are so good, and that chicken's juicy to the bone. Is champyschicken.com, and that's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.